proud members of the Podbelly Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Hello! Welcome to episode Infinity.
Hi.
This is Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
That's Ketrin Porter.
And that is Kim Burns.
We're a horror movie comedy podcast.
And we're going to tell you the entirety of a whole movie. And today I'm going to try to stay alive while Kim tells me the movie.
Get ready, bitches. I'm bringing some big grandma energy.
Oh, yeah.
China holes out, tits up.
Oh, yeah.
So last week we forgot to share our story from New Year's about big grandma energy.
Which is going to be the
our new
hashtag of the year.
Anyone who wants to join us, you're welcome.
I really stand behind the meaning. So I'll start. Well, actually, you got to Cousins first. So I'll let you start. Because Cousin answered the door when we went over to Cousins for New Year's Eve. My cousin answered the door in our grandmother's mink stole, which I love. Despite it being fur, I was just telling Kim, like, nobody bought it, like it was just handed down to us. So I love that, like, my grandmother's mink stole and the mink that sacrificed his life is like having a new resurgence.
A resonance.
Resonance. We were also just talking about how Kim's mouth goes straight to shit when we're ready to start recording her
It's
episode.
happening like before the mic comes on at this point. Like we were talking for the past 4 hours.
Yep.
And just chilling, talking, and then we were like, "All right, let's go." And then immediately, I couldn't speak.
Her mouth went to marble buckets, and it was
Renaissance.
That's yes,
the word
Renaissance. So cousin answered the door, and our grandma's mink stole, which my grandma handed down to Allison, which is amazing. And so the mink stole was just like admired and passed around throughout the evening. And it's got like her name, like things were so fucking classy back then.
Her name is like embroidered inside it.
The full fucking name, Joanne K. Bracken. Like it's so beautiful. Kim happened to be serving a vibe that night as well.
I was on point, guys. I was feeling myself.
And she really had what... If it had been on any other person, it would have been a totally different vibe. But the way Kim was serving it was just a straight Kim vibe. She had a kind of a see-through leopard print long sleeve top on with black pants, boots, and these fucking talons for nails.
Yeah.
And she's got like her head shaved.
Big dangly earrings.
Like was just serving a real vibe. And then she fucking put our grandmother's mink stole on.
Oh, man. And did it transform me?
It transformed Kim and her energy into big grandma energy. And we just all felt it. We all believed in it. We all wanted to imbibe it and live it. And it was just, guys, it's the hashtag of 2020. Big grandma energy.
How could we like describe what it is? Like I was feeling myself in my outfit, but then I was like owning myself in some big grandma energy.
Well, I think big grandma energy comes from like a grandma has been around the fucking block.
Yes.
They have a confidence that comes from being on this planet for so long.
A deep confidence.
Yeah.
It's not a fake. It's just like, I am who I am.
Yeah. And it's just like they've seen some shit and they've been through some shit. And like literally everyone else around them, they're like, oh, honey, you'll get there one day.
Yeah. But also at the same time, grandmas are like the lovingest, most lovers.
Yes, they're not afraid to love.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's just
it's all intertwined.
Yeah.
And I have like a letter that my grandma wrote my grandpa like when they were dating in like the 30s.
Yeah.
And she's so like at the end, it's like the sassiest thing. Like she's so sassy. And I was like, sassy grandma. It's reminded me of that too. Like I felt sassy and confident, but loving.
It's amazing. And
our grandma
hashtag
BGE.
And our grandma was amazing. She had a really cool life, which I won't go into all of it, but she had some big grandma energy. Whoa, I'm just having some weird deja vu. She had some big grandma energy because she was married to my biological grandfather, who was was suffering from some undiagnosed PTSD after World War II, drinking problem, abusive, not great situation. She divorced him in a time when it was not cool to divorce people. And after she left him, she started a love affair with our grandpa, who's technically our step grandpa, but like our grandpa, and was excommunicated from the Catholic Church because they were like, you got divorced and you are seeing this other dude and blah, blah, blah. And grandma was like, I got big grandma energy.
Yes.
I'm a
queen.
fucking Mary Charlie and we're going to live fucking happily ever after and hashtag BGE. So that's our grandma.
BGE. It's just like a fucking goddess, queen, or king energy.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing.
Alan, cousin and I took a photo together too that we'll share.
Oh my God. It's the
that
best.
was a photo for our reality show.
And
Big
it's
Grandma
also
Energy.
like, I genuinely want to put it through that app that turns things into paintings.
Yes.
And I want to blow it up and have it framed in my home in like a giant gold frame.
Yes. I have a giant gold frame.
It's just so perfect. It's amazing. And my two favorite people just living hashtag big
lives.
grandma energy.
Just living your best life.
Yeah. So
everyone live your best life. That's the hashtag of 2020. Big grandma energy.
Yep.
BGE. Yep. Let's fucking do it, people.
R.I.P. Dodie Perch. You were the best.
R.I.P. Marian Delaney.
Yeah. Cool. How's your mouth working?
I think it's okay.
You told that story with nary a stumble.
Just trying to make my lips as happy as they can be so they can live some big grandma energy and tell this story.
Honestly, I'm not disagreeing. Like, your mouth just gets like some real nerves.
I don't know what happens. It's so weird.
I mean, it's just not living its big grandma energy life. You gotta just, live it. All right, let's do this.
Okay. Anything else? Do we have other things? How's your life?
I don't think so.
Good?
I think it's good. It's fine.
Cool. Big grandma. BG.
I'm hoping that at the time I'm going to rephrase something. At the time that this episode comes out,
in my reality,
I will have not broken my streak of my morning ritual.
I'm just going to do a quick coaching session right now and say, just switch that without the not.
I will have continued.
I will have done my morning ritual every single day.
Every morning. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I genuinely could not figure that out. I was like, English words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your like brain, your subconscious like doesn't understand like
no, you're completely
negatives.
Right.
So then all it hears is
not. Yeah, you're completely right.
I'm
very, very curious what this movie is since you watched it for 48 days.
4 days.
Like what the? I can't even understand what it could have.
Well, no, for 3, I guess. I started on Tuesday. Today's Thursday.
You say that like that's less weird. It's a movie. We do this for a living. Why did it take you so long to watch?
I just had a lot going. Wait, what day is it?
What day is it now, or what day is it in the future?
It's because yesterday was New Year's. What day is it now? Yesterday was New Year's.
Okay.
So Tuesday was New Year's Eve day. So there was just a lot of going on. If it was a regular Tuesday, I probably could have watched the whole movie on a Tuesday.
I thought you were like the movie was you deciphering some sort of cryptic puzzle.
No, it's just a holiday week.
Oh, okay.
And I also panicked because that's why I texted you a couple days ago to be like, when's our next recording day? Because my planner only went to December 31st. And then I was like, well, it's January now and I don't know when. I have nothing written down.
And time doesn't exist.
So
this week.
I wasn't planning ahead and then time came upon me.
Cool story, us. I think we're gonna listen back to the conversation we had at the beginning of the episode from last week and be like, what were we saying? And why?
I already considered cutting it out after we had it. I was like pretty bored.
It was, here we go.
I'm excited to tell you what it is because This movie is Parasite.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because Parasite's on my list, and Ketrin has like texted me and told me in person multiple times. She's like, "Oh, I got a screener for it. I know it's on your list." And I was like, "Cool."
I was like, "Why is she being so fucking weird about it? Like, why is like?" But now I get
But
it.
I'm like, "But I had a screener for it, and I've been watching it for 4 days."
Cool. All right, let's hear it.
That's also why even when I started, I was like, "Fuck, this might be a while," because it's over 2 hours and it's in Korean.
Oh damn.
That's why it took so long.
Damn. That's for real. That's crazy.
And it's like talky Korean.
Ooh.
Like it felt like a mumblecore almost
Of Korean. Ooh, wow. That's
Yeah.
tough. Wow, that's hard, man.
like it's like quirky. And so I was like, fuck, because I've done subtitles,
Train to
Train to
Busan.
Busan, but that's way more action. And
The Orphanage.
also kind of more,
Yeah.
it's slower.
Yeah.
This is like quirky and talky.
Wow, that's really hard.
It,
That's
yeah,
really hard.
it took a lot. Like I was like, fuck. But then because it's a screener, excuse me, I have the digital screener, which will go away once
Oh, right.
the voting happens.
Yeah. I think I got the physical.
I probably
screener.
did too, but shit's weird with my
your
mail because of moving
Yeah,
and stuff.
Okay. Well, great. I'm excited because
So-
I actually said to myself, I was like, I hope Kim does this soon because I want to watch it.
Because have to watch it.
James Flanagan was talking to me about it, and I was like, he was like, you've got to see it, and I was like, I can't. Like it's on Kim's list, and I can't watch it until she tells it to me.
It's also good that I watched it because you have to watch it.
Yeah.
This isn't even one that I'm like, oh, you might want to see this after I tell it to you. I'm like,
It's like I have to.
No, you have to, and
Okay.
you will want to.
Okay, great.
This is I remembered there was something else I wanted to do. I'm giving people more homework
Ooh,
to
what is
discuss.
with fucking Mrs. Burns giving us fucking homework all the fucking time?
You're not allowed to do the homework though.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding
Now
you.
I want the homework.
You can't.
This is rude.
No, everyone else has to do it because I want to talk to you about it, but I'm going to have to tell it to you. You can't watch it yourself.
All right. What is it?
It's the documentary on Netflix called Don't Fuck with Cats.
No. Yeah. No, I've already said I will not watch it. I can't watch it. I won't watch it. I won't ever do it. I won't
But
ever
I
do it.
must tell you the story.
But how can you do
but
it
not
without,
right now?
And also, like, I don't want to, like, I already know.
That's not I can easily skip around that.
Okay, great.
Or be like, here's a part where cats get hurt. Moving on.
Okay, great.
Like,
yeah.
But you can't watch it.
I won't.
I know.
Because it's already been suggested to me on Netflix a bunch of times. So I did some research just in my LA Underground cat network because like people post things about like, hey, don't watch this. There's a cat that gets hurt, like things like that for people like me. And so everyone was like,
no,
I can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to. That's what I'm telling you. You're not allowed to.
Okay.
But multiple people, like Mackenzie and then X-Chronex both wrote to me and being like, have you watched this? That you have to watch it.
That's so fun. And did they just know that I couldn't watch it, or is it that they wrote to you on Instagram?
They wrote to me on Instagram. X-Chronex said you would need like warnings for animal horror, but when I watched it, I was like, no. This isn't a warning situation.
Yeah.
This is a not allowed to happen situation.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks from now, I'm going to give everyone a chance to watch it who wants to watch it.
Okay.
Warning.
Animal horror.
Yeah.
And it's not even like
And
fake
real
animal
life.
horror.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. So it's
and it's ironic because like
it's hurtful to watch. Like it's painful.
I don't know how you watched it.
Yeah. It's
like-
only the first. So there's 3 episodes. Yeah. And it's only kind of in the first one. And I did feel actually sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
But I was like I wasn't just sitting watching it. I was doing things, you know? But I was like people, and then someone else had posted, like Tracy had posted about it. Like
a lot of
so
people are
many
posting about
people
it.
like kept telling me to see it that I was like, there has to be a reason.
Because the documentaries, aside from that, is something I'm 100% into. Like the true crime sort of.
Exactly. Like I was like, there has to be a reason. So I was like, I need to power through basically. But I literally felt like ill.
I actually was because I had realized I was never going to watch that. And because I saw another really accidental, upsetting video on Facebook that I'm not even going to talk about because I didn't mean to watch it. It's one of those things where it in your scroll, like it happens and you don't mean to. I said to Eric the other day, because many bajillion episodes back, you made fun of me that I was like, I don't really relate to Carrie. And you were like, you don't relate to Carrie? Well, it became very clear to me because I said to Eric in the grocery store the other day, because I was like processing this Facebook video that I accidentally saw, and then also processing like I'll never be able to watch Don't Fuck with Cats. And I said to Eric, I said, you know those movies or those characters where someone like has a surge of power and they just like obliterate a place or a type of person or whatever. And I said, I truly honestly feel that if I had a surge of some sort of like obliterating power, the people I would take out are people that are like cruel to animals in any way, shape, or form. And he was like, any way, shape, or form? And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm telling you, that like this would be, it would be unclear as to whether or not I was a villain or not, because I would just fucking turn people to painful ash. And it was because I was like trying to process like, I just want those people to die. And I was like, that's not, no, I stand by it. I want them to die. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fun. Have fun with your homework that I don't have to do, bitches. Bye.
I would talk about it right now, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who like wants to go watch it before we talk about it.
No, I like this whole thing
I'm
that we're
give
doing.
People 2 weeks.
I think it's great.
Or
I
a
like
week.
this whole thing.
I don't know. We'll see. We
I
can
don't
come
know how
back in a
time
week
works.
or 2.
Yeah.
You have at least a week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Just fucking do your homework.
Yeah,
okay?
just do your homework. Just do it early. If you have 2 weeks and you do it in 1, then you get a week off. Be fucking A+ students, assholes. Great.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yes.
Yeah.
That's it. I gotta. You're not allowed to, but I have to tell. I have to tell it to you.
Okay. Great. Cool.
Anyway,
Parasite.
back to Parasite. This was made in 2019.
Great.
Last year.
It's still in the theaters, no?
I don't know. I think
Close
so.
to it.
Like, I think probably like some.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's by Bong Joon Ho. He's the writer and director. And ironically, when I went to see, speaking of mumble gore, when I went to see The House of the Devil at Alamo Draft House, they kept having like advertisements for having like a night of all of Bong Joon Ho's movies.
Oh, cool.
And they called it some play on bong for smoking weed.
Let's take a
Some
hit.
shit like that. I don't know. But here we go.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if I should say anything about it beforehand. It's hard. It's definitely like, is it a horror movie situation?
I was just going to ask. I was like, but if she's doing it, it's a horror movie. So
I mean, people kept saying it, or people, I don't know, it keeps being kind of included, not included. But it reminded me of like the killing of a sacred deer.
Oh, yeah.
Situation of is it a horror movie?
Well, I mean, James said it was a horror movie.
Right. Yeah. It's just not in that.
Yeah. It's not like a slasher.
Yeah. Okay. Dead or alive? Dad. I know we both had the same thought.
Alive.
For anyone who doesn't listen to every episode, which I don't know what's wrong with you, but one time my first person was Dad.
And she said dead.
But so with my big grandma energy. I was so confident. Sure, I was just like, dead. And spoiler alert, he was. Mom / Chung Suk.
Oh, dead.
Kiwoo / Kevin.
Dead.
Ki-jong / Jessica.
Alive.
Mr. Nathan Park.
Dead.
Mrs. Park.
Dead.
Da Song.
Alive.
Da Hai / Teen Girl.
Dead.
Housekeeper.
Dead.
Husband.
Alive.
Okay.
Let's get parasitic up in this bitch.
So this is we'll start 4 days ago.
Okay.
And go all the way through this morning in my life. So we start inside a house, and there's like socks hanging from like a little thing from the ceiling, like drying, you know, like a little drying rack. And the way the house is, it's like almost below ground. It's like half above ground, half below ground. And so the top half is all windows, and it looks out onto a street. We're in Korea.
Okay.
There's a boy on a cell phone, and he looks like kind of like teenager-ish, like late teens probably. That's Ki-woo, and he's on his phone.
Who's also Kevin.
Yeah. And he's like, fuck, no more free Wi-Fi. And he's like, the lady upstairs put a password on.
Oh no.
And he's like telling his sister, who's like also like same age-ish, and then two other people who I'm like parents probably. Like there's a man kind of, or there's a mom like sleeping up, fucking goddamn it, waking up sleeping dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are we gonna do? And the boy's like walking all around the house, like just sticking the phone everywhere, like trying to get fucking Wi-Fi. And then he's like, I got it. And like he's up in the corner of the bathroom, and literally the way their bathroom is like the toilet is up as well. Like, so you sit on it, and the ceiling is like almost touching your head.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like up a level, like by the windows pretty much. So he's like up next to the toilet, like in the corner.
Okay.
And the mom's like, oh, check WhatsApp. I should get something from Pizza Generation. And then they're like watching something like folding pizza boxes, like almost looks like a competition sort of thing or whatever. And then outside in the street, they're like, oh shit, is that fumigation coming down the street? And they're like, close the windows. And dad's like, no, leave them open. It'll be free extermination.
Oh.
And so then smoke comes in the house, and they're all like coughing, and like dad just keeps unfolding his pizza boxes.
What the fuck?
Like they're clearly like, this is, you know, like they're not well off.
No,
here,
sure.
You know what I mean?
But I'm like, what kind of smoke is it?
I know. I'm like, seems dangerous.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But it's also something they're spraying in the street, so like can't be like,
it can't be like a fumigation.
Straight poison.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? But I was like, ugh. And then a lady comes to the door from the pizza place, and then she's looking at the boxes. She's like, you didn't fold them right. Like it's supposed to be here and not here or whatever, or like a bunch of them are folded wrong or something. And she's like, I'm docking 10% off your pay.
Rude.
And then the mom starts fighting with the lady, and the mom's like super fucking snarky. And the kids are now like being like, oh, we know that so-and-so quit and like all this other stuff. And then they all kind of like surround her, and they're like, you should hire one of us. Blah, 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 blah. But first you have to pay us for these boxes. So she gives them money, and now inside the family's like eating. Then they can see out the windows. There's like a drunk guy
these
outside.
Scrappy little motherfuckers. That's great.
Yeah. So there's a guy outside, and he's like drunk and kind of like starts to like piss like almost on their window. And at that moment, like a motorbike pulls up, and the guy gets off, and he like tells the drunk guy to stop. And they're kind of like, oh, impressive. Turns out that's Ki-woo's friend, Min. And he's like a college guy.
Okay. On the motorcycle.
Okay. Not the drunk guy.
Yeah.
Like he's in college, and he brings a box in for Ki-woo, and he's like, this is from my father.
This is from my big grandma energy. Okay. This is from my grandfather.
As my grandfather.
Yeah.
And he opens it, and it's like a big like rock. And he says it's called a scholar's rock. And this is said to bring material wealth to families.
Oh, okay.
And it's like with deepest thanks.
May I order one?
I'll take one. And mom is just sitting there like, food would have been better. Like so snarky.
Wow. I kind of want to hang out with her.
And so now Ki-woo and Min, the motorbike guy, are out like kind of drinking, hanging out. And he was like, oh, it was great. You know, I got to meet your mom and dad, and like just talking about the family and how like they haven't been able to find jobs, and the sister can't afford, like, is she taking lessons or anything? And she can't afford them. And because she's like an artist, I guess, but something like that. And then the Min shows him a picture on his phone of like a cute girl kind of. And he's like, this is who I tutor. And he's like, why don't you take over while I study abroad? Come on, you can tutor a rich kid.
Okay.
And Ki-woo was like, why don't you ask like your university friends like instead of me? And he's like, I don't want those fucking like frat guys like tutoring her, like gross. And he's like, you like her.
Oh.
And Min's like, I mean, you know, as soon as she like gets to university, I'm going to officially ask her out.
Oh, that's sweet. Sorry, I had to do some math. Yeah, no, that's sweet.
It's like, I think it's okay to be sweet.
Okay. I think it's okay to be sweet.
Like I think we could assume she's like 17. I don't think he like says her age, but
also, I mean, I guess I'm like a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old. If the 19-year-old is waiting till she's 18, I'm like, good on you.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's like if they're in college, they're college age and she's in high school.
Yeah.
Actually.
21, 18, he can buy her beer, which is really useful as an 18-year-old. This works out. I'm into it.
Yeah, and to be like officially waiting till she's university. Yeah, I don't know.
That's nice.
So Kiwi was just like, but I'm not a college kid. And he's like, you know, like I'm like, how can I tutor like her? I'm not in college. And Min's like, yeah, but you took the entrance exam like 4 times, like, and you have like military experience or this experience, And he's like, you're better than all those fucking college pricks.
Right.
And
half those people are just in there because they have money, not because they're smarter than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, just fake it. And he's like, plus you'll have my recommendation.
Oh, what a good friend.
Yeah. And he starts saying how the mom of the rich family is like young and simple, he says. And he's like, but your sister's like artistic, right? Like just have her. And then it like, we kind of cut to like her photoshopping things for him, like in some like internet cafe sort of thing. And like, even there, like the sister's like smoking in the place and the lady's like, you can't smoke here. So she like, you know, like that's just like who they are. Yeah. And so Yeo-jeong, is that the name? I don't know. It took me a long time to figure out names.
Yeah.
Who's the sister. And she basically like photoshopped together like a document saying that like he went to college pretty much. And now they show it to like the dad at home and they're like, damn, if like Oxford had like document forging as a major, she'd be top of the class.
That's awesome.
And so Kiwi was like going out now to meet the family.
Where was she when I needed a fucking fake ID?
You didn't have a fake ID ever?
I had to have my little brother make me a fake ID and it was like as thick as
I remember yours was
box.
Garbage.
It was garbage. And it was like I had to have it in my wallet, like in the clear window. And if anyone said take it out, I was like, I'll see myself out. It was garbage.
I had a fake one since
yours
I was like
good.
17. It was really good. Yeah. Because it also like it used a lot of my real information.
Yeah.
With just like a different date or something like that. So that way it was like if they try to ask you any questions, like you knew everything.
Yeah. Mine did.
And it was my picture.
Mine worked if you didn't make me take it out.
Yeah.
Like it totally worked.
Mine did start like peeling apart at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the days.
College. I mean, you know, don't whatever.
Don't do that.
Things. So, anyway, Kiwi's leaving the house with his like document, you know, and Dad's like, I'm proud of you, son. And he's like, I'm going here next year. I just printed out the document a little early. Or something.
I love it.
So now he's like
BGE, buddy.
BGE, this is your year.
It is.
So now he's out in the street kind of like looking for the house he's going to. And it's like definitely nicer neighborhood, nicer houses. And he comes upon like the doorbell is basically one of those like speaker things, you know. And
intercom.
An intercom.
I just meant like as opposed to like hello. It's like it's an intercom. Announcement.
If it was a speaker, they would just be like, hello? Hello? Would you like to come inside? Hello? You can do that on an intercom too, bitch.
I guess you can.
That's what when I have an intercom to enter my home, that's all I'm going to ever say to you. Hello? So the door's open and he goes up the steps and it's like onto this like really pretty green yard, basically. Like it's just such a pretty color. And it's basically this will be the house that you see in any of the pictures of Parasite.
Yes.
So it has like all those big open windows onto this really pretty just green yard.
Terrace, yeah.
So the housekeeper opens the door for him. He goes inside and she's telling him about how an architect used to live here and he designed the place himself. And she's kind of walking around the place and like picking up like arrows like a kid would shoot that have like the little sticky part on the end or like the suction cup kind of things like that are like suction to different things.
Right.
he sees on the wall like the family photo and then like some things about Nathan Park, who clearly he's like a businessman or something. Like these are from like magazines or different things like that that are hung on the wall. And outside, mom is like kind of sleeping on the table, so the housekeeper has to go wake her up. And so now they're having their meeting.
Sleeping on the table?
I don't know. Yeah, she was just like fucking asleep like on a table outside.
Okay.
Not like sitting in a chair and her head was on the table. She wasn't like laying on the table.
Okay. I mean, both are actually kind of weird. So yeah, okay.
It was weird in general, but like I probably didn't even need to tell you that, but because it doesn't really come back again in any way, shape, or form. But like,
it's a little weird.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So now they're having their meeting and they're talking about how great Min is, and she's like holding a little white dog in her lap as they talk. And she's like, my daughter loved him, but he's going abroad. And, you know, she's like, honestly, I just like really need you to be up to his level if we're going to hire you. So she's like, I want to sit in on like the first lesson today. So they go upstairs and.
Oh, this is so nerve wracking.
So the daughter is like doing probably like a practice test of some sort. And he basically is like, so I noticed that you skipped number 24 and you went back. And then he like holds her wrist and like feels her pulse. And he's like, the heart doesn't lie or something like that. And she's like, he's like, taking an exam is like slashing a jungle. Like you need to dominate. You need to like go with the momentum. You need vigor.
Whoa.
So basically he's like, if that question was your first question, if that was question number 1, like you'd be screwed.
Wow. And
so basically, you know, he's hired. So the mom is like, she gives him some money and she's like, so we're going to have 3 classes a week, 2 hours a day. And she introduces him to the housekeeper. She's like, this is our tutor. And she's like, they call him Kevin now.
Okay.
So, and at that point.
Why?
So, Kiwoo is like his Korean name.
Okay.
And then I don't know. Maybe he introduced himself as Kevin. Like I'm not really. He doesn't.
I noticed
really
that
do.
Nathan Park is also.
But Nathan has a Korean name as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Which I just didn't ever find out or use. But it is like he has a full name.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I was just curious
because there's like another time they'll talk about a character and he's like. He calls her like just by an American name and he's like, what was her Korean name?
Interesting.
So like,
okay.
I think they just, you know, it just depends. I don't know why they do it with this family because they're Korean. So like you think they could all just use.
I'm curious about that. Maybe we'll postmortem Korean names. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah. So anyway, so his name is like Kevin from now on.
Okay.
And so at that point, like the little boy comes down, there's like a son and he like shoots arrows at them. He's Da-sung. And so the housekeeper is like going and playing with him and like mom is talking about how he's like wild, but he like loves Indians. He's like in the Cub Scouts and stuff like that. And because he's wearing like kind of like an Indian like headpiece and shooting arrows and stuff. And Kevin's like, American Indian is the spirit of the Scouts. And he's like, I used to be a Scout. And they're talking about how Da-sung is an artist. And there's actually like a framed like crayon painting that he has done on the wall. And they're like kind of standing there like looking at it and mom is talking about how it's a self-portrait and Kevin's just like, wow, that's like it's so good, like, and like genuine.
Yeah. And
she's like, well, he's had many art teachers, but she's like they never last more than a month because he's just like too wild.
Oh.
He's like a 9-year-old, you know, and he's just
I hear that.
Yeah, nothing else needs to be said.
Yeah.
And Kevin is like, I know someone, Jessica,
his sister.
She went to art school with my cousin and then she went to school in America and like went to, you know, like a fancy school there. She has unique methods though, but she can really help kids. Like she's really in high demand. I think this is when he's like, Jessica, well, what is her Korean name? I can't remember.
Okay.
And then he's like, would you want to meet her? And cut to Kevin and his sister, who is now Jessica.
Love it.
Quote unquote. Out their door, and they kind of like ring the door and then go over.
Scrappy motherfuckers. Yeah. I love it.
And they say together, they're like, she's like, okay, cousin's friend, da, 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 like going through like who she is basically. So now Kevin, Jessica, and mom are talking. The kids are kind of like watching from like the stairwell, like peeking around. And they're talking about how he has like a Basquiat-esque sense at age 9 and he's just an eccentric genius or something like that. And Kevin goes upstairs for his lesson
Genius 9-year-olds are insufferable.
Tell me about it.
I tell you. I'm just oh God. I've worked with some and I'm like, listen, I know you're fucking smarter than everyone in here. Can you shut the fuck up though?
You're still 9.
Yeah, you're still 9 and I don't want to hang out with you. So shut up.
So he goes up into the room and the teen girl is like, Dasong is just faking it all. Like, it's just a show. It's like an artist like cosplay and it gives me the creeps. And he's like, okay, but maybe we get back to, he's like, what does this have to do with your like English test or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. So then they get back to their studies and he's like, why don't you write about your, about this in English for me? Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Like, tell me this story in English. Here
and you
go.
were like, thank God. I don't have to read subtitles for a second.
And no, they immediately cut away.
Oh, damn it.
No, just kidding. She doesn't do that. She asks, so that girl, Jessica, is she really your cousin's classmate? And he's like, what? Yeah. And she's like, she's your girlfriend, right? And he's like, no. I just met her today. And the girl's like, but she's pretty. Aren't you like interested? And Kevin gets all like super awkward.
Yeah.
And then he's like really gets really sweet. And he's like, look, Jessica is a rose, but if she's a rose, and he like draws a picture for her and like shows it to her and she just like kind of smiles and giggles. And then she slowly like reaches for his hand. And then they're just like awkward kind of at a moment and then kind of lean in and they kiss.
Oh no.
And then they're like, okay, let's study though.
Oh God. Okay.
I know.
Oh God.
Really took his friend's girl immediately.
Know. I feel uncomfortable on so many different levels.
I know. And then I'm like,
what's the age difference? What's happening?
I mean, I think he's young.
Okay.
I get the sense.
But then also it's your student. Also it's your best friend's crush. Also. Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely not like what's the word? Like purposely.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. Yeah. If I was in her position, I totally would have like blown him right there. But I'm just saying, it doesn't mean
malicious.
It's
That's the word I was looking for. I was like, he's definitely not
trying to take his friend's girl.
It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah. Okay.
He feels sweet. But so downstairs, Mom and Jessica go upstairs to Sung's room. And Mom tries to come in again for like the first lesson, but Jessica is like business and no bullshit. Like she's like, I know what I'm doing, and she's like, you must wait downstairs. I don't allow parents into my lessons.
Oh shit! I
and
like
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah. So Mom is just like sitting at the kitchen table, like all nervous, and so the housekeeper's like, oh, I'll go to the basement for you to get some plum extract. I don't know.
Okay.
And so down in the basement, there's like big shelves on the wall, like huge, like shelving units, basically, that have a bunch of like jars with stuff in them. And so Mom
Probably
comes
where they like preserve things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was definitely like all those kinds of things. So Mom comes down after her and she's like, I had the best idea. Take them to Dasong's room, take 2, and then report back.
So good, smart.
And they go back upstairs, and Jessica and Dasong are actually sitting at the kitchen table. And they're like, oh, you're done already? And she's like, Mom, come sit with me. And she's like, Dasong, go upstairs. And he like listens and does.
Whoa.
And she's like, this is a painting that he just made for me. And she asks the housekeeper to leave. And she's like,
I love her.
She's like, I study art psychology. And she's like, did anything happen to Dasong in first grade?
Oh.
And Mom is like shocked. She's like, how did you know? And Jessica then starts to talk about the schizophrenia zone in a painting. And she's like, see here at the bottom corner where it's like all scribbly scrabbly, and then on the one that's in the frame on the wall has the same thing.
Scribbly scrabbly?
In that
This
one
schizophrenia
area.
zone in a painting? I have to go analyze all of my paintings.
And so mom starts freaking out. And Jessica's like, this is good. Like painting is like and drawing is like a black box to his mind.
Ah.
And, you know, they start talking about how they're going to have 4 2-hour lessons a week. But, you know, Jessica's like, she's like, this is not just tutoring. Like, this is also therapy. And she's like, it's a very high rate.
Yes, queen. I love her. I love her. Do I love her? I
So
think
now-
I love her. I love her now. I love her for now. I have an asterisk next to it. I don't know what the asterisk is filled into.
So now Mr. Park comes home and they do like a little introduction.
That's your schizophrenia zone.
It is my schizophrenia zone.
Oh.
It's just my schizophrenia acting up. So he has a driver that like comes in with him.
Sorry, who has a driver?
Mr. Park.
Okay.
So Mr. Park comes in, they do a little introduction, and they're like, driver, like take her home.
Take Jessica home.
Take Jessica home. Okay. So now they're in the car and Jessica's like, you can just drop me at blah, blah, blah station. And he's like, you don't want to ride the Benz, not the station? Or he's like, ride the Benz, not the station. Basically being like, I can take you all the way home, you know? And Jessica's like, no, I'm meeting my boyfriend. Just take me to the station. And he's like, okay. And so then she reaches up to her skirt and takes her panties off.
I'm sorry?
But like doesn't like reach her, doesn't like, she just like nonchalant, like she just not to show
Not
anything
to-
or
not
whatever.
to- yeah.
It's just
Not
like
to be
she's like
seductive
hiding
towards him.
Yeah,
She's
she
doing it
just takes her
secretly.
panties off secretly takes her panties
Secretly
off.
was the word you were looking for.
It's okay. Secretly takes her panties off. Back to our main family. They're having dinner. Basically, I'm going to call them like the family.
Yeah.
Whenever we're talking about the family.
Is Kevin
It's-
home now?
They're at dinner. So yeah, it's all 4 of them.
Okay.
And Jessica's asking Dad if he ever drove Benzes when he was a driver. And he's like, no, but I was a valet. And then he kind of like gets into like, and he's like, that was 6 months before this job. And like 3 months after this job, that job, like all the things that he's done. And then Kevin's like, are we on to our next step already? And Jessica's like, yeah, I set a trap in the Benz. And Kevin is like, this is so metaphorical. And he's like, we're eating in a driver's cafeteria. And the dad's like, because they're having dinner, but they're like not at home. I was like confused as to where they were because they're like in a line to get food. Like it looks just like a cafeteria basically.
Right.
And I was just, but with a bunch of people around. And I was like, what is, but like didn't look like a restaurant per se. But maybe this is kind of a restaurant.
Yeah.
I guess it's a
buffet
driver's
type of
cafeteria, basically.
Driver's cafeteria,
And
okay.
Dad's like, okay, eat up. And Mom's like, you didn't pay for it. They did.
Oh, shit.
So snarky.
I like her.
And so Kevin then starts asking Jessica, she's like, what did you do to Mrs. Park? Like she was in shock. And Jessica's like, well, I Googled art therapy and then I ad-libbed the rest. I don't know. And then she's like, before I knew it, she was weeping. She's like,
shit.
crazy bitch. I don't know.
This fucking little bullshitting bitch. I love it.
So now cut to
Girl after my own heart.
I know you're such a fucking good bullshitter. So now Mr. Park Nathan is in his car being driven. So he's in the back seat and he's like doing business, looking through papers and stuff like that. He drops a paper, leans down to pick it up, and under the seat in front of him are the panties. And he kind of just looks up at the driver. And the driver is like young and kind of like cute and stuff like that too, you know? And so, but he doesn't say anything, but he brings them home and he shows his wife and he's like, that driver's a scumbag. And he's like, why in my car? And like on my seat, like why not even in the front seat? And then he's like, isn't that strange though? He's like, car sex, I feel like you can leave like, you know, hair or earrings or something, but like your own panties.
Yeah.
Like that's hard to overlook. And he's like, that makes me suspicious about what the woman's condition was.
Right.
Kendra just closed her eyes and shook her head because she was not going to make fun of my schizophrenia suspiciousness. He's like, that makes me suspicious of the woman's condition.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then the mom's like, what do you mean? And he whispers to her, and she's like, meth or cocaine. And he's like, calm down. He's like, it's just a guess. Like,
those are so specific. Like, you could just say intoxicated. That's so silly.
It's just funny. And so Jessica is hiding now, like around the corner in the kitchen, like where the kids were before, like by the stairwell, and like hearing the whole thing. And he's like, well, I don't want to like get into all this business of what happened. He's like, I'm just going to invent some like excuse to like let the driver go. At that moment, Jessica walks out into the kitchen. She's like, lesson finished. And so mom is now, Mrs. Park is now walking Jessica outside and asks her about the driver because he drove her home the other night, you know? And she's like, oh, he's nice. Like, he insisted on driving me home. And Mrs. Park was like, late at night? Revealing where you live? And Jessica was like, yeah, but I just told him to drop me at the station. And she's like, good girl.
Oh, okay.
So Mrs. Park tells her that he's no longer with them. And, you know, they kind of talk about, you know, at one point, like, she'd been like, yeah, no, he's like young and nice and da-da, you know, and Jessica's like, yeah, it's better to have an older driver, you know? And she's like, someone like my dad's brother or someone like had a driver, Mr. Kim. She's like, I used to call him uncle when I was a little girl. She's like, he was a great man. You know, she's like, you know what? My relatives actually moved to Chicago. I wonder if Mr. Kim's available. And Mrs. Park is like, I mean, I only trust someone who comes with recommendations from someone that I know. She's like, it's like a belt of trust, you know? So she wants to meet Mr. Kim.
Okay.
Cut to Dad and Kevin like at the Benz store, like inside a car, like learning about the car, being like, this is a touchscreen.
Oh, shit. Like, do they mean like a Mercedes Benz? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, so they're like in an SUV, like at the fucking like shop, basically being like learning how to use it.
Scrappy motherfuckers.
And this whole thing is like very quirky. It's like so fun. And so cut to Dad now going to Nathan's office to have a meeting with him. And it seems to be whatever. Clearly Nathan's like in charge of a big thing and he's like in a meeting and blah, blah, blah. And cut to Dad driving him around. And Nathan's like, this isn't a test. He's like, I just needed to like get out of the office. And Mr. Kim, Dad, is just kind of like, I hear you. He's like, you know, 30 years behind the wheel. Like, I get it, you know? And he's like, it's just, you know, it really builds like a companionship of sort, you know? And even like turns off the map thing because he's like, Mr. You know, Nathan's like, oh, you know the roads? And he's like, of course, you know, all this.
Right.
So now we cut to like a voiceover that says like, she may look like a sheep, but inside she's a fox. Sometimes she acts like she owns the house. And we see Jessica watching the housekeeper, like taking a nap or something like that. And the VO turns out it's like our family talking.
Okay.
And they're like, the housekeeper lived there the longest. She lived there when the architect who built it was the owner.
She was the housekeeper for the architect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then we like see Kevin watching her doing stuff. And they're like, the architect recommended her to the Park family.
Okay.
And so she survived like the change of ownership. She's not going to give up a good job easily. We need to prepare well. We need a plan.
Oh, shit.
Cut to the teen girl feeding Kevin some fruit, some melons.
Okay.
And she's just like, I want peaches. Peaches are my favorite. And she's like, but they're a forbidden fruit in this home.
Why?
Because housekeeper has a massive serious allergy to peaches. Oh. She's like, even if the fuzz touches her, she gets a full body rash and like asthma and has like a total meltdown.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't think an allergic reaction is a meltdown. I think it's an allergic reaction.
So got to Jessica.
She has like a total fucking meltdown.
Calm down. You got a little peach fuzz on your skin.
Oh my God, take a fucking EpiPen, okay?
Oh my God, my throat's closing.
Oh my God.
So got to Jessica getting a peach.
Oh shit.
And Kevin like shaving the fuzz off a peach like into a little container. And now Kevin's walking out of the Park family house, and the housekeeper's like leaning down playing with the dogs or something, and he sprinkles it on the housekeeper's neck as he's walking out.
Oh my God.
Cut to housekeeper on the phone, kind of coughing and stuff. And she's like public somewhere. I realize later that it's basically a hospital kind of waiting room or something like that. It just looks different than our hospitals. Yeah. So, and she's on the phone being like, no, there were no peaches around. But she's like, symptoms like this, I usually like immediately just go take my meds. But like I forgot where I left them, blah, blah, blah. And then Dad walks kind of like near her and sits on a bench kind of near her and like takes a selfie with like her behind him, sort of. Cut to Dad and Mrs. Park talking as he's like helping her bring the groceries like to the car kind of thing like that. And he is like, this is weird, but isn't this woman like in the back of this photo the housekeeper? And she's like, oh yeah. And he's like, I thought so. I saw her like once in the house. And he's like, I went for my annual exam. And he's like, I took the selfie for my wife. And then he's like, I wasn't like eavesdropping or anything, but like she was speaking loud and I like clearly overheard. Cut to him practicing this exact speech at home.
Shut up.
And he's saying all this. And Kevin is like, cut, Dad. Your emotions are like up here. You need to bring them down. Okay. Stay focused.
God.
And he goes on with his speech and he's like, I think he's like driving now, like driving her home from the grocery store. And he's like, she got diagnosed with active TB. And then it's like cut between what's happening in current time and him practicing with Kevin. And he even like it cuts to Kevin being like, do people still have TB? And that's like exactly what Mrs. Park asks. And
oh my fucking God.
He's like, it's weird, but I saw it on the internet. You know, Korea has the #1 rate of TB of all OECD countries. I don't know what OECD. European. I'll postmortem it.
Yeah, I'll postmortem it. But
and he's like, you know, with a young kid like that song in the house and her just doing everything there. And the mom is like freaking out. And so then the dad texts Jessica and he's like, we'll be there in 8 minutes.
These motherfuckers.
She's home with, or she's at the house with Da-sung.
Yeah.
So now she pulls out a peach and kind of sprinkles some, goes down in the kitchen, sprinkles some on housekeeper's neck.
Okay.
At this point,
which makes her cough.
Mm-hmm. So mom comes up the stairs from the garage and we see the kitchen and the housekeeper is in there and she's like coughing, kind of like wheezing a little bit. She starts coughing into a napkin and throws it into the garbage of the kitchen and like goes to another room. And this is now just over like amazing classical music because the mom was like, and now it's just music's playing and this is just, we're watching this happen. And then we overhear, and then it's like goes back to the family again and Kevin being like, also, if you get a chance, this will be icing on the cake. And he holds up a little packet of hot sauce. So mom is slowly walking into the kitchen, but dad actually, Mrs. Park is walking into the kitchen and dad, Mr. Kim Driver, walks past her with the groceries, goes ahead of her, goes into the trash can and real quick sprinkles hot sauce on the napkin.
Like blood.
And picks it up. And it looks like blood. And Mrs. Park this is like the music comes to a fucking crescendo. And Mrs. Park just shuts her eyes.
Oh, shit.
Cut to Dad now gets a text from Mrs. Park and she's like, 2nd floor sauna room. And so he goes in and she's just in there like sweating, like just in full clothes, like just her full regular clothes.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't tell my husband. She's like, if he hears that I brought a TB person to our home, she's like, I'll be hanged and quartered. And Dad is kind of like, you know, like I just felt like I had to speak up. Like I don't want it to be like I'm snitching or anything like that. And she's like, no. She's like, I won't mention TB at all. She's like, I'll just make up some excuse to let her go.
Oh shit.
And they just have like a weird awkward moment where she kind of just like, I think he like grabs her hand and then it like turns into a weird handshake sort of thing or something. I don't know. It's very weird. I was like, what's happening right here? But then Mrs. Park is just like, have you washed your hands?
Oh shit. I wonder if Korea is like like you can't fire someone for having an illness, like, which would mean that that's why she had to like make something up.
I don't even think that's why. I think they don't want to talk about it. Like it's the same, the panties thing is too. Like they're just like, proper. I'd rather not.
Yeah. Let's not get into it. Yeah.
Let's just make it an excuse so this can be done.
Got it.
I don't want to make it a thing.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like. And so cut to now, little boy Da-sung is just like watching mom and the housekeeper talk outside where she's clearly firing her. And the housekeeper is now leaving with her bags. So dad is driving Nathan now. And Nathan's like asking if he knows of any good like rib places. He's like, our old housekeeper made the best ribs. And he's like, she quit this week. And he's like, such a shame because she was great. Which is actually what Mrs. Park told Nathan. Because she couldn't tell him. So like everyone thinks she quit basically. Yeah. So.
And they're also really, whatever. Yeah. They're really good at like, you don't tell everyone the full story because then nobody wants to talk about it. And so then your lie can't be discovered. Yeah.
So good. So he's like, it's such a shame. She was great. She never crossed the line. He's like, I can't stand when people cross the line.
Cross the line.
Yeah.
What a thing for him. Interesting turn of phrase to use as a thing that you put your foot down about.
I mean, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on any turns of phrases because this is
translation.
And so any of the phrases might actually mean different things to them. Like there are a couple things where when they say them, like I'm just like, I bet that's,
something else. Yeah.
But it is that, but that's, he mentions it like a couple times. Like he's like, I really can't stand when people cross the line.
Yeah.
And dad's like, yeah, you better find someone new. And Nathan's like, yeah, my wife has no talent for housekeeping. And dad's like, you still love her, right? And he's like, what? He kind of laughs and he's like, of course. He's like, I love her. And he's like, we'll call it love.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. And then dad's like, well, I think this would help. And he hands him a little business card and it says The Care on it. And he's like, it's a membership sort of thing. It helps like VIP customers like you get like maids and drivers, etc. And Nathan's kind of looking at the card and he's like, I can tell it's high class from the card.
That Jessica fucking made. Oh, damn.
It reminded me of American Psycho too.
Yes.
Where they all compare business cards.
Yeah, they're like, this is in the color bone.
Yes. All the different colors of white.
So good.
And dad's like, they're like, he's like, how did you hear about it? He's like, well, they contacted me because obviously I'm a fucking VIP driver. But he's like, but I turned them down because I had, just set up a meeting with you. And so Nathan's like, wow, you turned them down to work with me. I won't forget that.
OMG. These guys are fucking professionals. I'm so impressed.
So then we
supposed to be impressed? Is that saying something about me? I'm really impressed.
Kind of impressed. Like
I'm
the
really
way
impressed.
It kept going, I was like, this is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
So then the phone rings. Jessica picks up as The Care, but in
Hello,
a totally
The Care.
different voice.
Yeah.
And her parents are watching her, and the dad's just like, wow, she'd be a really great con artist.
She is a con artist.
So it's Mrs. Park calling as she's like trying to like use the dishwasher and shit like that at home. And Jessica's like, okay, yeah, no, we can totally get you set up. We just need your info, your family register, citizen ID cards, documents to prove your income, like a title to your property, et cetera, et cetera.
Jesus.
And so cut to mom from our family.
Yeah.
Now in the Park house, bringing fruit as the housekeeper up to fucking Kevin and Teen
God.
Girl. And it has peaches.
Peaches.
And to Da-sung and stuff. And then Nathan comes home and Da-sung like runs to him and like says, hi, daddy, and he's like, I brought you gifts. It's walkie-talkies. And so he has like there's a bunch of boxes. So driver dad is carrying them and mom housekeeper comes and helps him. And like driver dad, like low-key, like grabs mom's ass as she's like helps bring them in. And then Da-sung is like, oh my gosh, walkie-talkies, yay. And then he smells Dad and then runs over to housekeeper mom and smells her. And he's like, the same. They smell the same.
What?
And Mrs. Park is just like, just go. Can you go back up to your room to Jessica? And Da-sung is like, Jessica smells like that too.
Oh.
And now the family's at home and they're like, do we need to use like different soap and like different laundry soap for each of us now or something?
Oh, snap.
And Jessica's like, it's this semi-basement smell.
Right.
She's like, we need to leave this place. And Dad's like, look, we're lucky to have this problem. He's like, all 4 of us hired like when times are so rough right now, you know? And he's like, gratitude to Mr. Park and Min. And cut to guy outside pissing on their window again. And guy is pissing on the window. So Kevin like grabs that stone thing and then like goes outside and throws water on the guy. And the guy turns and starts pissing like at him basically. God. And so now Mom and Jessica are watching. Jessica's like filming it on her phone and like laughing. And then it turns into slow-mo and Dad throws like a huge bucket of water onto the guy. And then it fades into sunglasses kind of being held into the sky. It's Da-sung, and he's like on his walkie-talkie, and he's like, the weather report is blah, 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 to like Nathan, who's like inside. And he's like, well, inside your sister is pouting and annoyed. And they're sitting at the table, and teen sister like wants to stay because they're all going on a camping trip for Da-sung's birthday.
Okay.
And Nathan's like, look, I'm taking off work, yada, yada, yada. And they're all getting ready to go. And housekeeper mom is going to be watching the dogs, blah, blah, blah. And they drive away, the whole family. So cut to mom sleeping in the Park house. Okay. She gets up. Dad's sleeping next to her.
Oh, shit.
Kevin is like outside in the yard, lying down, reading a book. And they're all just like living in the house. Like drinking fancy water. Jessica's taking a bubble bath. And like,
oh, damn.
They're laying in the bed and like playing in the yard, like playing games out in the yard together. Yeah. And now they're like sitting down in the living room, eating dinner, drinking whiskey, and like watching the rain outside.
Oh, damn.
And they're like,
it's like when Eric used to dog sit all the time. We'd be like, we're living large.
This is our home. They're like, Kevin, what are you reading? And he says he's reading the girl's diary.
Oh, snap.
And they're like, Jessica's like, what the fuck? And he's like, no, it's so we can understand each other more. And Jessica's like, what are you like dating? And he's like, it's serious. Like, she really likes me too. And he's like, I'm going to ask her out when she enters university.
Just like I know. But you're conning her whole family though. But how are you going to bring her home to meet your parents?
So Dad says, this house will be your in-laws' house.
Oh, God.
And Mom's like, I like her. She's a good kid. And then Kevin starts talking about bringing in actors to play his mom and dad if they get married.
Jesus fuck.
And he talks about how apparently Jessica at one point made money acting in weddings. And I was like, I can act in weddings.
Oh my God.
Someone wants to pay me to come to your wedding.
Yeah.
I am there.
No problemo.
I am a great wedding guest.
This is like
tons of fun.
Yeah.
If you want some drama, I've got it.
Yeah. This is where
or
the
just
bullshit
the life of the party
ends for me, where I'm like, oh, I don't want to keep this up. I don't want to keep this up
for like ever.
Yeah. I don't want to do it.
And they're kind of talking about how the family is so gullible, like especially Mrs. Park. And Mom's like, yeah, but she's nice though. She's like, money takes away resentment. She's like, if I had all this money, I'd be nice too. And so
unfortunately, that's not really how money works all the time, but yeah.
So Dad is asking about like the old driver being like, he must have gotten another job, right?
Oh, God.
And Jessica's kind of like drunk, kind of like sitting behind them, just being like, Dad, worry about us. We're the ones who need help. It's us.
Yeah.
And lightning strikes at that moment. And they're like, she speaks and lightning crashes. And they're just sitting in front of like the big open windows. There's thunder and lightning outside. It's like storming. And so Kevin is like telling Jessica that this like rich house like suits her. Like when she was like in the bubble bath and everything, he's like, this works on you.
I hear you, girl.
And as she's like chugging liquor out of a bottle.
Money fits me too.
Me too.
Fits me real good. Like a glove.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, which room do you want? And she's like, get me the house first and then I'll decide. And Dad's like, we live here now. Look at us. We're getting drunk in the living room. He's like, this is cozy, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus.
And Mom's like, if Mr. Park came in right now, Dad would scatter away like the little cockroaches at our house.
Oh, I love this bitch. / she's probably difficult to live with.
And then Dad gets pissed and he's like, cockroach. And he like throws something and he grabs Mom and they have like a stare down.
Uh-oh.
And then they both start laughing.
Oh,
and they're
okay.
like, fooled you. And then the doorbell rings.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, who is here at this hour? And they go to the video com, whatever com. And see that it's the old housekeeper outside. And she's like in a raincoat.
Oh, dear.
And she keeps ringing the bell like over and over again. And so Mom gets on the speaker with her. And she's like, I'm the old housekeeper. And she's like, the madam's not home, right? And she's like, you're my successor? And she's kind of like, crazy laugh a little. And she's like, I forgot something in the basement under the kitchen. Can you let me in?
Okay.
Question 1. What do you do? What do they do?
Okay. I'm going to say, I'm so sorry. I'm under strict orders to not let anyone into the house, and this video is being recorded. Otherwise, I totally would. What is it in the basement that you need? I'm happy to go get it for you and bring it to you. Just wait here. That's what I would do. I think Mom, like, doesn't know what to do and lets her in. Ooh.
Mom opens the door and lets her in.
I mean, spoiler alert, I feel like I really get these people, and it's concerning me. Like, I feel like I am anticipating their every move, and it makes me concerned for myself.
Well, we're all judging you.
Mm-hmm.
So housekeeper's
Judging myself.
walking through the house. And Mom's like, what did you leave? And housekeeper's like, do you want to come down with me? And kind of laughs. And she's like, no, go ahead. And we cut to like a CCTV camera, like outside in the rain.
CCTV camera.
Like a camera outside in the rain.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what that is, right?
I don't. A CCTV? I don't know what that is.
Do you not watch like British procedurals?
No, I do.
It's just cameras in the streets and stuff. That's what they call cameras in other countries.
Oh, that are just like surveillance cameras?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Cut to Dad, Kevin, and Jessica are kind of all hiding, and they get Mom's attention like in the kitchen, and they like tell her to go downstairs like after her. Mm-hmm. Question 2, what do you do? What does she do?
As who?
Mom.
Well, I think Mom goes down.
I wish I could snack during our podcast.
Me too.
Does anyone mind me eating sounds?
I think that's exactly what some people definitely mind, and exactly something that other people really don't. But they're split down the middle.
How do you feel about chips and salsa ASMR?
Wait, what am I doing? Okay, Mom definitely goes down. I think that what I would stick with if I had let her in at this point.
You have.
Is I would say go with my old thing where it's like, again, I really shouldn't have even let you in. I'd feel much more comfortable getting whatever it is that you left down in the basement.
She's already got. She's down.
Oh, she already went down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, then yeah, I'm gonna go after
her. She goes down.
Yeah.
Point for her. Down in the basement, the housekeeper is trying to move those heavy shelving things that are against the wall.
Yep.
And she's literally horizontal. Like she's pushing and then her legs are like on the other wall.
Okay. Oh,
And
Jesus.
She's like, help me. She's like
when you
pull
tried
from
to
the
take
other
that
side.
boot off my foot one time.
Yes.
Why did that happen, and who was naked?
I think I was naked because you had a boot on.
Right. Why would I have been naked with just a boot on?
One time when we were roommates, I was taking a shower. I think that's why I just got out of the shower.
Yeah.
And you, well, for whatever reason, I guess just got home or something. And like, we're wearing these boots that must have been like high or something.
They were
like
high
that.
and they didn't have a zipper. So you had to pull them on and off. But the lining inside got caught.
Ripped, yeah.
So it literally like hooked my heel in a way that my ankle was breaking and I couldn't get it off.
it was like I get out of the shower and she's having like an emergency. It's like, what's wrong? And she's like, hey, get this boot off. You should help me take my boot off. This boot's never coming off my foot. And I was like, okay. And then I try and it like will not come off. So then we're like, she's holding on to the side of a door.
Like literally as if I was in a tornado that was sucking me into it, laying on the ground horizontal, holding on to the molding of the wall.
And then I was like, I think on the other doorway, like with my legs, but I'm like just butt naked at this point. Like, and then pulling the boot off her.
Spoiler alert, we got it off.
She's not still wearing that boot today.
Oh God. I thought I was going to have to amputate.
Yeah.
It was really on there.
Like you were having an emergency.
It was bad.
It felt like an amputee emergency.
Yeah. So the old housekeeper has boot stuff. Got it.
Yeah. So mom is like, okay. And she starts like pulling and then realizes that something is stuck underneath. So she pulls that out and the whole thing opens and the housekeeper like falls to the ground.
Oh shit.
And so now Kevin, Jessica, and Dad are like peeking down the stairs, like watching. And that had opened and it opens to a secret door. And they open that and it's just like green lighting inside.
Green lighting? Ooh,
yeah, just
okay.
all green. So everything in this area is green.
Okay.
And the housekeeper immediately runs inside and she's so question 3, as the mom, what do you do? What does she do?
Well, I think because I have the benefit of knowing I'm in a horror movie, I think I'm going to arm myself with something hitty, something batty, something stabby, something like that.
Great.
And follow her
Hitty,
in.
batty, stabby.
Hitty, batty, stabby. And go in. Mainly because, like, I don't know what she's doing and I don't feel comfortable just, like, letting her do whatever because I'm not on the up and up myself. So I don't want to get caught. I need to know what's happening. I think the mom follows her in, but maybe doesn't hitty batty stabby herself.
Housekeeper runs in and she's like, honey. What? And mom follows. It's basically stairs that they go down and it's like stairs forever.
Okay. Why didn't I? So who got the point?
The point for her.
For her, but not for me, even with a hitty batty stabby?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what my other questions are. At this point, you'll probably learn, but like, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know.
That's fine.
I think it would be best if you didn't know any of this existed at all.
Okay, great. Okay.
You just put a blanket over
Yep.
it. I mean, I understand that that's probably what I wouldn't do, but because your blanket would be best.
Yeah,
because
it's like you don't want to. If you're not being honest, you want to make sure you know all the ways that somebody else isn't being like
right.
Yeah,
but
also you may die. So
yeah. So housekeeper's like, honey, I'm here. And mom keeps going down and down and down the steps. There's a man down there.
A man?
A man.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm fine, just hungry. And mom is like looking around and she's like freaked out. And the housekeeper's like, there was something wedged under the door. And the man's like, oh, that's why I couldn't open it from the inside.
Oh, shit.
And mom's like, what's going on? And housekeeper's like, well, this is a weird situation, but, you know, we're fellow workers. And she's like, Chung Soo, right? And mom's like, how do you know my name?
Mm-hmm.
And the housekeeper's like, well, I still text with Da Song, the little boy. And so she's like, I knew they were going camping. So now Kevin, Jessica, and Dad are down the green stairs.
Sure.
And this is like cement. We're basically in a bunker.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like cement all the way down. And so now they're on those stairs listening and like low key freaking out.
Okay.
And
but still hidden from old housekeeper.
Yeah. They're still like in the stairwell. And so we're like down in a different room, basically. Or not a different room. We're down like a hallway. We could see where the steps are, but it's just all cement. So you can't see anything. The housekeeper is like, don't worry. But she's like, don't worry. I cut the CCTV outside so no one knows I came in. She's like, good, right? And she's like, I'm so-and-so. And she's like, and this is my husband.
Okay. Hello?
And mom's like, how long have you been down here? And housekeeper's like, I don't know. Architect left like 4 years ago, something like that. And husband's like, 4 years, 3 months, 17 days.
Oh, yeah.
Housekeeper says, when the architect left, I brought my husband down here. She's like, all rich houses have bunkers, you know.
Oh, do they?
Just in case North Korea attacks or debt collectors come, you know.
Right.
And she's like, but architect must have been embarrassed about it or something. So he never told the Parks about it.
Right.
And so now mom is kind of like looking around, and it's like kind of basically like a whole apartment down there, like a cement,
a place
like
that
there's
they could
many
live.
rooms and things. Or I mean, there's just like a bathroom and, you know. And mom's like, I mean, I have no choice but to call the police. And housekeeper's like, no. She's like, we don't have a house. We don't have money. Only debt, please. And she's like, debt collectors won't give up. Like, even after 4 years of hiding, they're still like threatening to stab him. And mom's like, oh, you used loan sharks?
Oh.
And the husband is like, it's my fault. And housekeeper offers to like basically give her money and send her money every month. She's like, we have this. It's not much, but we can send you money every month if you just bring him food down here like once a week. There's like a fridge even, so you don't even need it like every day.
Oh, God.
Question 4, what do you do? What does she do?
Well, me? Oh, okay. I'm going to reveal something about myself.
I can't wait.
All right.
As if we haven't revealed everything. I wouldn't think there's anything left.
Here's the thing. If I agree to this, not only do I keep myself out of trouble, but I also have blackmail that I can use. That, like, if I keep him here and they're paying me to do it and they would get in trouble if they were found out, I pretty much own them. So I'm going to say, yes, I will agree to this and you'll pay me money. And then I still kind of have run of the apartment, whether it's that my family goes and lives down there like with this weird man. I have the upper hand because I could tell on them if they try to fuck with me. So I'm going to agree to it. And I think the mom does too.
That's a point for you.
Yeah.
Mom says she's calling the police.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
At that moment.
That's not very con artisty of her. That was not well thought out.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't actually think they're professional con artists. Like, I think they wanted real jobs, but
well, neither am
they're
I.
just really good at it, apparently.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this isn't like what they've been doing all their lives.
I'm just
you know what I mean?
fucking with you.
So Kevin,
And I have been doing it all my life. So
you know better.
yeah.
So at that exact moment, though, Kevin, Jessica, and Dad like slip because they're all leaning on top of each other, and they fall down the steps like into the bunker now.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And housekeeper is like, Jessica, Mr. Kim, the driver.
Yeah.
And she kind of holds her phone up like immediately and starts filming them.
Yeah. See, now she has the upper hand. See, you fucked it up.
And Kevin, they're like hurt a little, and Kevin's like, Dad, my ankle, ow. And Dad's like, don't call me Dad. And that's all on camera.
Ugh, guys, come on.
And housekeeper basically figures it out.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to send this video to the
Mrs.
madam.
Park. Yeah.
And they all start arguing, and housekeeper now basically has the phone as like a weapon.
Yeah.
Because she has the video prepared in a text.
Right.
To the madam. And she's like holding it out to them as if it's like a gun almost.
Yeah.
And she like leads the husband like up the steps with her, and she's like, stay back, or I'll push send.
That's hilarious.
And cut to upstairs in the living room. The housekeeper's like massaging her husband on the couch. And he's talking about how this send button is basically like a missile launcher. Because now our family is like against the wall with their arms up.
Yeah, y'all fucked that up.
And he's like, with this, these people will do anything. And then they put on like a kind of little show, like a little play about being North Korea with Kim Jong-un and stuff like that, and launching missiles and shit like that.
That's so uncomfortable. Oh God.
I think they're allowed to.
No,
they're in Korea.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I feel bad that there's like a fucking psycho but we have a psycho in our country, so never mind. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
So
ours is worse.
they're talking about the nuclear missiles that they're playing with. But housekeeper is like, hold your hands higher. And then she starts filming them again. And she's like, so you're the mother? And she's like, yes. And she's like, husband? Yes. And they're like, daughter? Yes. Son? Yes. And she's like, all of this, and you're just going to drink yourself stupid. And she starts like filming like the mess all over the table with like their food and drinks and stuff like that. And she's like, what a scumbag family to do this in this like creative spirit of a home, like the art that this house is. And they kind of start to flash back to what they used to be like in the house, where they're like husband and housekeeper used to like come out in the sunlight together in this creative house of like creative spirit of the house together. And they put on like a record and they're dancing and like drinking tea in front of the windows in the sunshine. Question 5. What do you do? And what does mom do right now?
Does she say something or do something?
Do something as they're like reminiscing.
Mom and I lunge for the phone hand in hand.
So mom rushes at them. The phone drops. Dad runs and grabs it. They're all fighting now. And it's over like music that's playing, you know, and it's like starts to be slow-mo. Housekeeper starts like hitting people over the head with stuff. And question 6, what do you do? What does Jessica do to try to win this fight with housekeeper?
Shoves a peach in her face.
That's Jessica or you?
Together, hand in hand. Yes.
She goes to the fridge and grabs a bunch of peaches and like throws them all over housekeeper.
I'm genuinely concerned.
And then all of a sudden, something starts ringing and they all kind of look around. It's a phone in the house. And they're like, what the fuck? Who's calling? So our mom picks up. It's Mrs. Park.
Okay.
And she's like, do you know how to make ramdan? And she's like, can you start boiling the water now? And we look at like the family and the housekeeper and husband, and they're all kind of like quiet fighting, holding each other kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they're all like
at the end of Christmas Vacation when the SWAT team comes in.
Like pause fighting. And Mrs. Park is like, the river overflowed, so we're coming back now. She's like, we'll be there in 8 minutes.
8 minutes?
And so mom hangs up the phone and she's like, what the hell is Ramdan?
Oh, fuck.
So she runs to the kitchen. She starts throwing trash away and she's like filling a pot with water. Basically, Kevin and Dad each have, Dad has the husband and Kevin has the housekeeper.
Yeah.
And so they start dragging them downstairs back into the bunker. So Dad and husband are down in the bunker and he grabs like a cord or something off the wall and like ties the husband up.
Sure.
And then he goes back upstairs, like Kevin and housekeeper in like the green stairwell at some point. And so Dad like takes over for housekeeper. Kevin goes upstairs. Jessica's like cleaning the living room because it really was like a fucking mess. Mom's cooking. Kevin runs up to help and he's like then goes upstairs to put the diary away.
Oh, right.
Right then the door opens. Jessica hides under the living room table.
Fuck!
And it's like a big, huge table.
Yeah.
You know, and like low because, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can't see her basically.
Right.
So, and then Kevin like gets under the bed of the teen girl's room.
Oh, fuck.
And so teen girl immediately goes up and lays down with her headphone on. And Dad and housekeeper are struggling in the stairwell. She gets free for a second and starts running up the stairs and she's like, Madam!
No.
Mom's in the kitchen cooking and basically the basement door is in the kitchen.
Right.
And it's like just a black square basically.
Okay.
Like it's very dark with just like shelves around it. And she kind of hears something like maybe coming from that basement area, so she goes to the door and she just like kicks it shut all the way. Housekeeper happened to be on the other side and like falls down the stairs with like a clunk.
Oh, fuck.
And Dad is like, ah! Cut to Mrs. Park at the kitchen table eating the fucking noodles that she said were for Da-sung or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, Da-sung loves them. It's his birthday, whatever. But I guess he like didn't want them. So now dad is dragging housekeeper's body down into the bunker area, but just to the top of this, just to the green stair. So just through the secret
Trap
door.
Yeah. Secret door, not trap door. Yeah.
And shuts like the shelf door with like a crank. So he shuts it from the inside.
Oh, okay. So
there's
he's
like a
in there
crank
too.
handle basically.
Okay.
That
Closes it.
And then he starts hearing, "Home from office, Mr. Park. Mr. Park off duty now. Love you so much, Mr. Park." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And so he goes down into the actual bunker now, and husband is just standing by. So he just has his hands like tied behind his back, is like how he tied him. He's standing by a wall saying this and hitting his head against some like light switchy kind of things.
What?
Upstairs, as Mr. Park walks up the stairs, a light goes on like each area he gets to pretty much as he walks. And dad's like, "You do this every day?" And the husband is like, "Well, Mr. Park house feeds me respect."
Okay.
And he's like, "Sometimes I send whole messages and there's like a sign like up on the wall with like the Morse code on it."
Okay.
So now Mrs. Park is sitting at the kitchen table, and so there's a light that's kind of like above their stairwell that goes to the garage or something like that. And she's like, "Gosh, the sensor's just going crazy," because like he can control it from downstairs.
Right.
He hits it, and so he's like doing Morse code on it, basically, with the light.
Right.
And husband, but he's like hitting it with his head, and he's like, "Da-sung knows it because he's a Cub Scout."
Okay.
So Mrs. Park and mom are talking about Da-sung and how he's a bit unwell. She's telling us to mom because she's like the new housekeeper.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting trauma and art therapy. You know, there was an incident when he was in first grade, and she says, "Do you believe in ghosts?" He saw a ghost in the house when he was in first grade. Cut to dad like duct taping husband to a pipe downstairs.
Right.
Mom is now back to her story. She's like,
"Can husband see his like knocked out housekeeper wife?"
"No, because she's at the top."
At the top. That's what I was
and
just
it's
making
just
sure.
like a bajillion steps
Because he was like not panicked
around and
at all.
around and down and cornered. Like,
Got it.
No. So she's like, "We had a birthday party for him, and later that night, like in the middle of the night, he goes to the kitchen to like eat his cake." So he's like sitting on the kitchen floor, like eating his cake, and in the basement door, it's like super dark, and we just see like eyes watching. And she's like, he screams, I run down, his eyes rolled straight back into his head, and he starts convulsing and like foaming in the mouth.
Oh, fuck.
And she's like, "Have you ever seen a kid have a seizure?" And mom's like, "No." And she's like, "Well, you need 15 minutes to get treatment or you're done." And she's like, "That's how long you have to reach the emergency room. 15 minutes.
Okay.
That will be useful later."
Okay.
Or not useful, but just
To get the
to
kid
remember.
to the emergency room?
No, she's basically like, you need to like treat them somehow within 15 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
I'm no doctor. I'm a fucking grandma.
I don't.
So Da-sung and dad. That's dad. Dad and husband are talking about living underground and how he's been there and stuff. And dad's like, "I mean, like, what's like your plan?" You know?
Yeah.
And husband's like, "I like it here. I feel like I was born here." And he's like, "In old age, I will live here." And he's like, "Please let me live here." So he's like been underground for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a little
Yeah.
stir-fried.
He's a little stir-fried.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Park then is saying, ever since then, we do really big things for his birthday.
Okay.
For the kid. So Jessica, of course, is still under the fucking living room table. So
Right.
she's hearing all of this. And Mrs. Park is like, "Well, they do say a ghost in the house brings wealth." And she's like, "And money has been good." And she finishes the food. Cut to dad gags the husband downstairs, and he goes to the housekeeper body on the stairwell, and the back of her head's all bloody.
Shit.
So he holds her hand under her nose, and he's like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought she was like dead from
Me
the
too,
beginning.
yeah.
I was like, I didn't even know there was a chance. But
Yeah.
she's not. So now teen girl's laying on her bed. She hears a noise, and the dog, one of the dogs, is like half underneath her bed. Like we just see his little butt sticking out. And Kev is like trying to be like, get away, get away. Like, no.
Yeah.
Shushing it. And so back down, Dad is like going back out into the basement, and he takes the handle with him for the door crank and shuts it. And but housekeeper is like tight, like her hands are tied as well.
Yeah.
So now teen girl's like asking the dog what's wrong, and she bends down and like slowly like starts to lift the sheet under the bed, and she's like, oh, damn. And she gets up, and then she just like walks out, and she like starts like, and she like just carries the dog, and she's like bitching at her mom. She's like, for eating all the Ramdan. She's like, you didn't even ask me if I wanted any. And she's like,
I don't know what Ramdan is, but like I feel like I want
I
some
know.
really bad.
It was like a ramen, basically.
Yeah.
I know. Let's have ramen.
Yeah.
Ramdan. But just like arguing at her because she's like, why'd you eat all the Ramdan? I like Ramdan. So anyway, Kevin sneaks out of the bedroom at that moment. Dad sneaks out of the basement. They both go to Jessica, who's starting to get out from under the table, and then there's a noise. So now they all hide under the fucking living room table. And Da-sung runs downstairs, and he starts playing, and he runs outside into the rain. And all the Park family comes down. Mr. and Mrs. Park are like in jammies, and they go outside to get him, and he's like setting up like a teepee tent outside.
Okay. In the middle of the night in the rain?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the teen girl's like filming it, and then she sits on the living room table and sends it to Kevin.
Oh,
being like,
and he's under the table.
yeah.
Fuck.
And she's like, video of Da-sung camping in the yard, LOL.
Oh, God.
And so he's texting her back from under the table, being like, you should just leave him there. I'm sure he'll just come back.
I hope his phone was on silent.
It was.
Okay.
And so the parents come back in, and mom housekeeper gives them towels, and Nathan is like, teen girl, get off the phone, it's time for bed, you know. And Mrs. Park tells mom she can go to bed too, and they sit on Dad sits on the couch with his walkie-talkie, so he's walking with Da-sung, who's still outside in the tent.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, Dad is here, I'll stand by for emergencies, over.
Cute, Dad.
And mom is there, and he's like, should we just sleep here? I mean, we have like full view of the tent, you know, with the windows all right here. And she's like, that's a good idea. So they turn out the lights and like lay down on the couch.
No. Oh, no.
And the whole family is under the table.
Crap.
Well, not housekeeper, but you know, the three of them. So,
Oh, no. This is a real predicament. They're in a real pickle.
so they're laying down, and Mr. Park is like, where's that smell coming from? And she's like, what smell? And he's like, it smells like Mr. Kim, the driver.
Oh, no.
And he's like, the smell just wafts through the car. And she's like, what does it smell like? Like old man? And he's like, no. And she's like an old radish? And he's like, no. You know when you boil a rag?
Oh.
And he's like, and Dad like slowly kind of smells his own shirt like under the table.
Poor thing.
And Mr. Park goes on, and he's like, he always seems like about to cross the line, but he never does. I'll give him credit.
Okay.
About Mr. Kim.
Yeah.
And he's like, that smell crosses the line though. And they have more smell talk. And he basically talks about how it's like kind of smells like what, like the subway.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Like a mildewy, stale basement smell.
And she's like, oh, it's been years since I've taken the subway. And he's like, yeah, people who ride the subway have a special smell.
Uh-oh.
Cut to Mr. Park now kind of starts like rubbing Mrs. Park's nipple.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he gets a little sexy tap.
Oh,
and he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on, it'll be like in the back seat of a car, like here on the couch,
Right.
you know? And she's like, we shouldn't. What if he comes back in, you know? And then they kind of start like groping each other. And he's like basically like over the jammies fingering her.
Over the jammies fingering. Oh, some over the jammies fingering.
Sexy time. Yeah. And they're kind of like talking dirty. Like he's like, oh, if you wore those cheap panties we found in my car, I'd get so hard. Ooh. And she's like, buy me drugs, buy me drugs.
Buy me drugs.
And he's like,
Eric and I sex play.
Ew,
TMI. Gross. No, it's TMI for myself. No, thank you.
buy me drugs, buy me drugs. The next person I have sex with, I'm yelling that out just to see what they do.
I don't think Eric can hear me. I think I'm going to do that next time and tell you.
And but he's like, here, eat this instead, and like puts his thumb in her mouth, you know?
Yeah.
And the family is just like under the table, and like dad has like his arm over his eyes, and then it just like we just like hear moaning noises, and like, you like that, like, etc.
I'd be like, hey, can I get a view here?
Ew, it's like you and like your dad and brother, basically.
Oh, right, people are with me. Yeah, never mind.
Or you and your sister and dad, or you and your children, like
any of those
all
combinations.
of those are gross.
In my head, I was alone.
No. So cut to Mr. and Mrs. Parker asleep on the couch. Kevin gets like, I think a text on his phone, maybe from mom, that says they're passed out cold, sneak out now. We kind of hear like light snoring from the Parks.
Okay.
Question 7, what do you do? What do they do?
I mean, they've got to try to sneak out. And I think they definitely try to sneak out. I think the one addendum that I'm going to do is to only sneak out one at a time. Like, one person goes to, like, so it's not like a traffic jam of trying to escape from the table. But yeah, I mean, I think we have to try to get out. Yeah, that was a weird bell.
So Kevin and Jessica get out from the table, and they like go to the stairs that go down to the garage. Basically, dad is like sliding out, like he's basically swimming across the floor. Like he's just flat on his stomach.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, emergency over the walkie-talkie, and a light goes on outside. And he's like, emergency over the walkie.
Oh no.
And Nathan's like, what's wrong? And dad just like stops moving. He's like close to the stairs,
but
so
just
like
frozen.
not right in front of them or anything, but like just on the ground, freeze frame. And Nathan's like, what's wrong? And the song's like, I can't sleep, over. And Nathan's like, then come in and sleep in your soft bed. And the song's like, I don't want to. And then the flashlight goes off outside.
Song, God.
9-year-old.
I know. At first I was like, oh, he's cute. And then I was like, over it.
That's just how kids are.
I know. I think that's, I mean,
It's just all kids.
yeah. They're super cute until you're immediately over it.
That's why you're like, go back to your own parents.
Yeah.
So the Parks are like, oh, let's just sleep. So now dad slides the rest of the way to the stairs, and they all go to the garage, all three of them. They open the garage door and kind of just like run out as it's, and it like closes again. And they run out into the pouring rain. Like it's pouring. And they run across town. Like they on foot go home, which appears to be very far. And they have to go down like a ton of stairs. Like they keep going down, it feels like.
The mom
is
sleeping there.
Yeah. Because she's a housekeeper. And so they're going through like a tunnel, like for cars tunnel, and like more steps. And then they're finally like exhausted at the bottom of a stairwell and like soaking wet. And they stop under a bridge and kind of like talk a little. And Jessica's like, so dad, what happened to the people in the basement? And dad says he tied them up. And she's like, well, what do we do now? Like, what's our plan?
Yeah.
And the kids kind of start arguing a little. And dad's like, look, we got out safely. No one knows but us. So basically nothing happened.
No.
And he's like, I've got my own plan. You don't worry.
No.
Let's go home and take a bath. So more travel down to where they live. And once they get to kind of like their street, there's like people outside, and the streets seem to be like flooding. Like water's like rushing.
And they're underground, basically. So
and dad like tells them, he's like, stay here. This is all sewage water. And so he runs down, and like people are kind of trying to like bucket water like out of their places, like their neighbors.
Oh, no.
And dad's like, did we leave a window open? And Kevin and dad go in, and water's like up to their waist.
Yeah.
And Kevin is like, now at that main window that we see, and he's trying to close the window and gets like shocked by something.
Oh, shit.
Back to the park basement. The housekeeper wakes up at the top of the green stairs and she's all dizzy. Husband is downstairs like struggling. So housekeeper gets down there and she like bites at his duct tape and like ripping it like a little bit. Back to our family, they're in their house. It's like a fucking disaster zone. Like it's still raining, water's pouring in everywhere. The toilet is like exploding.
Oh my God.
And the water's like so freaking high. Back to the park basement. Housekeeper like throws up in the toilet, but she still like has her hands tied behind her back.
Oh yeah.
And then she like lays down unwell.
Yep.
And she's like, honey, I've got a concussion, I can't see you. And husband is like still duct taped and like struggling to get free. Our family, Jessica like climbs up top to where the toilet is and like reaches in the ceiling and grabs a pack of cigarettes and like sits in the toilet as like shit is like gushing out of it and like lights a fucking cigarette as things are like floating like around her basically.
I hear you, girl.
Back to the housekeeper, she's like talking and kind of just laying, and she's like, what a nice person, Chung-suk. She's like, that woman, she kicked me down the stairs. Chung-suk.
Oh.
Say it with me. Chung-suk.
Uh-oh.
Which is the mom's name.
Yeah.
And back to our family, the stone kind of floats up and Kevin holds it and just like stares at it.
Oh.
Back to Dasong, he's in the teepee, watching now the house. That light is blinking and it's doing Morse code. Go back down into the bunker. The husband is like hitting it with his head and he's bleeding. So he had gotten free basically from the duct tape.
Right.
And so little Dasong is like trying to decipher it and he writes HOLPM.
Help me. Yeah.
And back to Dad now has water like up to his neck.
Oh,
and he's
God.
like holding some things that I guess they're just trying to like take out of the house. And he kind of just like looks around and starts like kind of like tearing up a little bit. Like lights are flickering. And now he like goes down the hallway towards the door and we have like a POV shot back towards that window and like we are the camera basically and water is like coming up like above us pretty much.
God.
And then it's like a bird's eye view of, I think the kids like floating on something as Dad like pushes them like down the street.
Jesus.
Yeah. It looks like a door basically.
Yeah.
Like Titanic style.
Yes. Yep. Rose and Jack. I was with you.
He's like Rose and Jack down the street. Well, rosing
there was
them.
room for both.
He's rosing them. No Jack. There's two of them. I'm just going to say there's two of them on this door.
We're just going to say there's room for
just
both.
Saying,
okay?
Just saying. I don't know. Now, the rain has stopped. It's still kind of like darkish, so maybe like early morning, and the family is sleeping somewhere with like lots of people around. So it seems like a
hostel.
I thought you would just tell me the word I was looking for.
Homeless shelter? A shelter?
A shelter, but for like an emergency situation shelter. So basically they're in like a gym.
Yeah.
And so they're laying like on the ground in like a sleeping bag next to like a bajillion fucking people. And so Kevin and Dad wake up and they're whispering to each other. And he asks Dad like what his plan was that he was talking about. And Dad's just laying there and he's like, you know what kind of plan never fails? No plan at all. No plan. You know why? If you make a plan, life never works out that way. Look around. Did these people all think, let's go to sleep in a gym? But we all are on the floor. That's why people shouldn't make plans.
This is bleak.
Uh-huh. He's like, with no plan, nothing can go wrong.
Oh, this is a sewage flood.
And if something spins out of control, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Whether you kill someone or betray your country, none of it fucking matters.
Or potato country?
Or betray your country.
Oh. I was like, I don't know that Korean
Whether
turn of
you potato your country, it's all sewage.
It's
all, what'd you say? This is a sewage what?
Sewage flood.
This is a sewage flood.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And Kevin says, Dad, I'm sorry.
I need a depression nap. Get ready. Oh, God. Good night.
And Dad's like, for what? And Kevin's like, all of it. Everything. He's like, I'll take care of everything.
Oh, God.
And Dad's like, what are you talking about? He's like, why are you hugging that stone? Kevin's still just like holding the stone as though it's like a pillow. And he's like, it keeps clinging to me. And Dad's like, I think you just need to get some sleep. And he's like, I'm serious. It keeps following me.
Oh. They're like a cute family.
They're sweet.
Yeah.
They just genuinely love each other. And they're sweet.
A family of, yeah.
They're just
trying to live.
In a fucking they literally like couldn't eat.
Yeah. They're just trying to live. Yeah.
And so it's morning now. Mrs. Park is looking outside and it's like sunshine and birds. Da-sung is like asleep outside in the little teepee tent. And Mrs. Park calls Jessica to see if she's free for lunch today. She's like, we're having an impromptu birthday party for Da-sung since the camping thing didn't work out. So she's like, there'll be food, like all these things, da-da-da. Come by 1 p.m. And she's like sitting in like her big vanity area with like curlers in and putting makeup on and stuff like that. Jessica's like picking up the phone. Oh, Heike. But not Heike.
She's not Heike.
No, Jessica and her fam are like in this crowded ass fucking gym with like a bajillion fucking people.
God.
And then the teen girl comes into Mrs. Park and she's like, should we invite Kevin too? And Mrs. Park is like, great idea. Yes. And she's like, I called Mr. Kim. He's going to take me to the market and all the things we need to do for the day for like our impromptu party we're having. And she's like, but we'll pay him overtime.
Right.
And then she walks into like her giant walk-in closet, like an entire room.
Ooh.
And she like picks out some clothes, cut to the family as they're like, there's basically piles of clothes for everyone to like choose from.
Yeah.
And as people are like screaming and I don't know what the fuck is going on and stuff.
This is my true nightmare.
It's really sad. So now Mrs. Park is telling Mom as the housekeeper to bring she's like, there's 10 outdoor tables down in the basement. She's like, bring them upstairs. She's like, we'll leave the teepee there and we'll curve them around and it'll be like something she talks about, like the battle of so-and-so or something, like, because Da-sung loves Indians or whatever.
Right, yeah.
So, we'll curve it around like this and then we'll put the grill here and blah, blah, blah.
Do they say Indians in the translation?
They do, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And Mrs. Park is now with Dad, like at the market and like all the stores. She's going to a bunch of different things, like buying wine at one place and then like seafood and she's like on the phone inviting people and like laughing and like buying all these fancy things. And she's like, right, we'll get drunk in the daytime. It'll be great.
Day drunk.
Yes. And then Dad is like putting her groceries in a bag. Mom is like struggling setting up tables like outside. And Mr. Park is like, quiet. Da-sung is still sleeping in the teepee. Now we're in the car. Mrs. Park is on the phone and she's just like, man, like on this talk, and she's like, the sky is so blue. There's no pollution. And she's like, it's all thanks to the rain yesterday.
Oh man, what a different life.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And so Dad is just in the front driving, like listening.
Oh man.
With just, I can't describe the face.
I can see it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Just that sewage flood face.
Yeah. Of like, oh, that rain you're talking about. Yeah, we experienced it too.
Mm-hmm.
It was different for us.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
And she's like, yeah, we traded camping for a garden party. Lemons to lemonade.
Oh, God.
And then she kind of all of a sudden gets like a whiff of a smell. And she kind of is like, and she like opens the window a little bit. And Dad like smells himself again.
God, this is fucking heartbreaking.
I know.
Fuck.
So now, I mean, honestly, Ketrin, pull out the tissues, girl.
Oh, God.
Pour yourself another shot because...
Well, let me go pee and then maybe I will.
Okay.
What did she do?
It's like...
Guys, I just tried to pour Kim another shot. And she just... Did you blow it into...
I did. I blew it into my own face. I think it's on my face. I can smell my face smells like peanut butter whiskey.
Why did you blow it on your face?
You made me laugh. She poured me like a little baby shot. And I put it towards my mouth. And then she made a joke. So I was just like, and then it splashed into my own face.
But then she reacted to it. So it was like,
did you not see it happen?
no, I just saw you like react to whiskey being blown into your face.
It was just by my mouth. And so when air squirted out from my mouth, it pushed it up into my face. It's like as if you're taking a drink and you spit it out.
Yeah.
I did that except spit into my own face. I don't know if that's ever been done before.
Kim, what is our podcast?
Screwball whiskey, promo code KKSAM. Where's our sponsorship?
Oh my God. Okay.
I have screwball whiskey all over my fucking face. Can you please send us a case? Please. Please. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I don't know what we'll keep in or not, but just 4 minutes of us. Oh my God. I wish it was videotape for anyone. It looks
so funny. It looked so funny.
It's like I laughed and then all of a sudden got splashed in the face of something. But like, why would that happen? Like, how would that happen? So then I was shocked. Just pure shock.
Oh God. I'm glad we took a little laughter break because Kim said that I'm going to need the tissues. Now she can't drink.
I just tried to go near the glass and I got scared. I'm still half laughing. So okay. I was like, what if I breathe in this again? Survival guide. Don't breathe into your shot glass. It will splash onto your face. It's like literally all over my face. Like my face is sticky.
I'm going to do an impression of it after we record. It was so funny. It was so funny. Okay.
God, I wonder if that could be recreated. I would slow-mo video that for the Sammys just because it was so funny if it could work.
Yeah. All right. Back to...
I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about.
The sewage flood.
They're in the car. She
smelling
has the smell
again.
again.
Yeah.
Cut to... Wow. That laughter fest is really... We're going to have to change our tone.
Yeah, we're
back
going to have to shift gears real quick.
Fucking sad sewage flood. Okay.
Here we go.
So, God. Sorry, it's like in my nose. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to finish it. I was just going to have a sip, but I was like, at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
People are arriving at the party.
Okay.
Kevin, and they're like out in the yard and it's, very nice and beautiful. Kevin and Teen Girl are like upstairs kissing in her room. And she's like, you were thinking of something else while kissing me. And he's like, huh? And now he's like staring out the window at the party. And she's like, now you're doing it. You're still thinking of something else. And he's like, wow, everyone looks gorgeous. And he's like, even in like a sudden gathering, and he's like, they're all just so like cool and natural. And it's like, it's very like bright and wholesome. Like,
yes.
It reminds me of like what, like an Easter gathering or something with like, it's like very bright colors and stuff, there's like a cellist playing.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
You know what I mean? And it's just like in their little backyard.
Yeah. Wow.
That they threw together today.
Yeah.
And Kevin says, he's like, hi, do I fit in here? And she's like, what? And he's like, do I fit in? And she just kind of like shakes her head. Yeah.
Like, what's he wearing? Because in my head, I'm like, all of their clothes were soaked and all of the clothes that they had access to were just like a pile of clothes at the hostel. So like, does the dad have like a chauffeur's uniform?
He was never wearing a uniform. He was just wearing something like nice. But I think they're all wearing something nice. Like Jessica specifically has like a nice bright dress on kind of.
Okay.
So I guess they just found like clothes that were like
Nice-ish clothes.
appropriate. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not as nice. They're like the nice clothes that a lower class person would be wearing.
I 100% get it. Yes. I just
versus
was like
the high class clothes.
I was picturing
in a weird
them
way.
in like somebody else's old gym shorts and like a
No.
Garfield t-shirt.
No, they're wearing like
Okay.
what they would wear from
Okay.
even from their own
Got
stuff. It seems like, but like they're at basically a place where, for comparison to like American things, where it'd be like someone with a sweater wrapped around their shoulder situation, khakis,
Yes. Oh, I am aware.
shit like that.
Yes.
And so he's like, I need to go down. And she's like, no, stay here with me. And he's like, no, not to them. He's like, I need to go lower. And he pulls out the stone like out of his bag. Now we're outside. Mr. Park and Dad are like huddled in some bushes and they're putting on like Indian headpieces. And am I allowed to say Indian? Is that...
That's why I was asking, because it's Native American.
Yeah, I know. Like it's.
But
I'm saying Indian because they kept
say
saying Indian,
yeah.
and then they talk about American Indians as like that being the spirit of the Cubs and the Cub Scouts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like much more at our front of mind because it is our native people. I'm
Right,
sure in
right.
Korea they were referred to as Indians since 1492. So
Right.
it's like I get it.
Okay.
I think we're supposed to say Native Americans.
Yeah, every time other than this, I was always quoting them, and then I had this, and I was like, I feel like that. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
putting on like Native American, like
I think it's Native American, but actually what I would love to postmortem just because we can. A friend of ours grew up on a reservation, and I would actually love to know how someone that grew up on a reservation feels about either term. So
Yeah.
we'll postmortem that.
Someone I know?
Our friend Joey Clift. I don't know if
someone you
you've
know.
met him. Yeah.
I thought when you said "our," you meant me and you.
Oh, I meant me and my other spouse.
Oh,
Sorry.
I see.
So sorry.
Gosh, that's fine. Just sewage in my face.
But yeah, I'll postmortem that.
So they're putting on basically, feather headpieces.
Headdresses, yeah.
And like Mr. Park's like, I can't believe I'm doing this at my age. And he's like, I'm really sorry, Mr. Kim. He's like, Mrs. Park insisted. And he's like, it can't be helped,
Cute.
And he's like, but the concept is simple. So basically, he's like, there's going to be like a parade with Jessica carrying the birthday cake. And then we jump out and they have like little tomahawks. And he's like, and attack Jessica. And then Da Song, the good Indian, will jump out and we'll battle. And he'll save Jessica, the cake princess. And they'll all cheer.
That's very cute.
But Dad is clearly like,
Distraught. And
and not in the place to be doing
Yeah.
this right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, your wife really likes like events and surprises. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, she does. And he's like, I mean, you're trying your best too. And he's like, you love her after all. And Mr. Park just looks at him and he's like, you're getting paid extra. So think of this as part of your work. Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
So now Jessica's in the kitchen and she's talking to mom housekeeper. And she's like, have you gone down yet? And mom hasn't. And she's like, we should go down and like try to reach an understanding. She's like, Dad was talking about some plan he has. And so Jessica's like, I'm going to go down. And mom's like, okay, wait. But like she hands her a plate of food and she's like, take this with you. I'm sure they're hungry.
Yeah.
At that moment, Mrs. Park comes in. And so Jessica's just like, oh, this plate, the food's so good.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Park goes to Jessica and she's like, I have a special favor. And she's like, so this is DeSong's like, quote unquote, trauma recovery cake. So it needs to be you who does it. And she's like, it's going to be the highlight of the day. And they head towards the outside area. At that point, because they're coming towards us, we're watching behind them. Kevin comes downstairs and he goes towards the basement. He pushes open the shelf and he goes down the steps and he slowly like peeks around the corner and drops the fucking stone and it tumbles down all the way the steps. And he's like, and so he quietly goes down. So now he's like at the very bottom and he like peeks out and he sees housekeeper's head. Like it's as if she's like around the corner. So all she can see is her head, but it's the back of it.
Right.
On the ground. And he's like, are you okay? And so he slowly like goes towards her and kneels down, and he's like, are you okay? And we're looking at him, and this weird circle, it's like dark, but this weird circle like kind of raises above his head. Rope around his neck.
Oh no.
Husband wraps some cord or something around his neck and drags him across the room down the hallway, and puts the end of it is on like a handle.
Yeah.
And he puts the handle between two pipes on the wall.
Oh shit.
And Kevin gets up and tries to run, and he gets like choked back.
Fuck.
Husband picks up that stone, walks towards Kevin, and Kevin's like, wait, mister, wait. And he lifts it above his head. The rope comes free. So Kevin runs, and he runs up the stairs, and the cord's still like just dragging behind him. Husband chases him. He runs all the way up the stairs. He's like back at the basement, runs out the door. He gets pulled back.
Oh, fuck.
With the cord. Mm-hmm. Husband runs up after him and throws the rock. We don't see we just see him throw it.
Yeah.
Outside, the cello is playing. A woman starts singing kind of like opera music. Downstairs, husband is like chugging one of those jar things of food, water, whatever from the fucking basement shelves. And he just throws the jar and it smashes on the ground. And he shuts the shelving door. And his face is just covered in blood from when he was just slamming the fucking light switch
Jesus
thing, Morse
Christ.
coding. So he's just got fucking blood
all over his
nose face.
Yeah.
Now we see Kevin on the ground with blood pooling around his head, next to like broken glass and like water kind of pooling with the blood.
Oh, fuck.
Husband picks up the fucking stone and just throws it at his head again and like hits the top of it. And like Kevin's like arm does like a bouncy reflex thing.
Fuck me.
And husband just goes like straight up the basement steps, just like on a fucking mission.
Oh, fuck.
Outside, they're lighting the birthday candles and it's bright and music's playing. And now husband's walking through the kitchen. He stops, grabs a knife, and heads towards the outside. Fuck. And he's just kind of like low-key, maybe whisper talking, smiling to himself.
Like a cuckoo banana.
Cuckoo banana.
Yeah, he's stir-fried.
Cuckoo banana stir-fry.
Yeah.
And so, same thing. He walks by the stairwell.
Side note, just thought of an amazing idea.
Yeah.
We come up with a cookbook, a KKSAM cookbook that is based on things like Cuckoo Banana Stir-fry.
I mean, I'll
Copyright,
leave that to you. Copyright. I'll leave that to you, though.
Yeah.
Mine will be skin with whiskey.
A whiskey mask.
Yes. So it's like we'll be like the new Goop. It's like cooking, but facials.
Here's the thing, guys.
We do it all. Stay alive.
Fame doesn't last forever. You've got to really like think about ways to expand your market. And the way we're doing it is with whiskey face masks and cooking books.
Holla.
BGE.
So big grandma energy. So he's walking outside. Behind, he like passes that same stairwell from upstairs. Behind him, the teen girl walks down and she walks towards the basement. So like doesn't see him. Like basically the other direction. Outside, the crowd is like laughing and cheering. Husband stands like behind them and it's like, you know, sunshine. He's like,
Yeah. What is this?
Hello? Jessica's carrying the cake towards Dasong, like in the middle. Husband sees her through the people, runs at her. She turns. He stabs her in the chest.
Fuck!
She's like holding the cake, so it gets slammed right into his face.
Oh,
and she passes out. So at that point, he's basically standing over little Dasong. And Dasong just like looks up at
ghost.
him. Bloody faced ghost, creepy man who just stabbed his teacher.
Oh, this kid is fucked.
Dasong's eyes roll back into his head, like full roll of whites, and then he just falls straight back. Everyone starts screaming. Someone tries to like attack husband with a chair and he like slices him. People are going crazy. Dad and Mr. Park run out from the bushes. Husband screams. He's like, stop. And he's like, Chung-suk. And he picks up Jessica by the wrist and he's like, come out here, Chung-suk. And mom runs out and she's like, stop the blood, push down on the wound. And she runs at him with like a tomahawk that she grabbed. Mr. Park and dad both go towards like Dasong and Jessica. Mr. Park obviously to Dasong, dad to Jessica. Everyone at the party starts running away. Mr. Park picks up Dasong and like runs towards the house, but and he like Dad is holding Jessica's wound and he's looking at all the people and he sees teen girl carrying like a bleeding Kevin outside.
Oh.
And Jessica's just like, it hurts.
Oh.
And she's not looking good. And mom and husband are now like fighting. It's kind of slow-mo.
Yeah.
And he slices
mom
her.
and husband. Got it.
He slices her. Mom grabs like a big grill kebab with like peppers and meat and shit on it. Cut to Mrs. Park and she's like, the emergency room for Dasong. And Mr. Park is yelling towards Mr. Kim, Dad, being like, get the car. What are you doing?
Oh, because he doesn't, he's like,
that's just a strange, like, or, you know, whatever. Just another, they're all just random.
Doesn't realize it's your daughter.
Random help, like, you know?
Right.
And so,
which is also kind of fucked up because it's like, that's a human being.
I know.
That's dying.
And Mrs. Park is like, we can't wait for the ambulance. He's having, basically, he's probably having a seizure.
Yes.
And they have 15 minutes. So Jessica is like bleeding really bad. And she's like, stop pushing. It makes it hurt more. And Mr. Park is like, car keys, like throw me the car keys. And so Dad throws the keys and they land in the grass. And exactly at that moment, Mom falls to the ground on top of the keys. Husband now gets on top of her and they're struggling and fighting still. He stabs the ground right next to her head. She grabs the kebab thing and shoves it into his side.
Oh, Jesus.
And he falls to the ground. Mom gets up and like immediately runs to Jessica and she's like, and Jessica's like, don't touch it. And Mr. Park goes now to husband on the ground and our dad is like watching all of this because, you know, now mom's kind of like on Jessica. And so he's just like watching and husband is like, hello, Mr. Park. And Mr. Park is like, you know me? And husband's like, respect.
Oh, God.
And
oh, God.
Mr. Park just like kind of grabs his like body and like turns it over to get the keys from underneath him. And he gets hit with like a smell. And he like holds his nose.
Oh,
Dad is watching this. Grabs the keys under him like as he's holding his fucking nose. And he gets up and goes towards the house where like the people are waiting. Dad fucking gets up, grabs the knife, grabs Mr. Park, stabs him in the chest.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
He falls on the ground and Dad is just like standing above him staring. And Mom is staring. Mrs.
Fucking
Park.
husband says respect even as he's dying and Mr. Park holds his nose to like move him out of the way. Oh, the class system. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God.
Mrs. Park passes out. Dad kind of runs through the party and he's like a little out of it. Like he's like twisting around a little and goes towards the steps to like the outside. Fade to black.
Jesus Christ.
Now it's a voiceover. Opening my eyes for the first time in a month, I saw a detective. And we fade in to a detective and police and like doctors standing over us. And the detective is saying, you have the right to an attorney, back to our voiceover, who looked nothing like a detective and starts laughing. And the detective is like, is he laughing? And now we see it's Kevin in a hospital bed.
Okay.
With shit wrapped around his head. And the doctor is like, oh, that happens sometimes after brain surgery, just laughing for no reason.
Oh, Jesus.
So Kevin is just laughing.
Might be the most terrifying kind of actor.
So Kevin is like laughing and just like looking all around at like the tubes connected to him and shit like that. And the detective is like, so then do I need to do it again? And the doctor's like, what? And he's like, the Miranda thing. And so he starts to like give the rights again. And Kevin just like keeps laughing.
Yeah.
And now we like kind of, so this is basically, it's a whole voiceover. So I'm going to be like switching back and forth between like what we see versus what we hear kind of things. So we see Kevin walking through the hospital with like a nurse and cops following them. And we hear, even when I heard how much Jessica bled that day, cut to Kevin in court with Mom. They're clearly like on trial. Mm-hmm. And he kind of starts to laugh a little and Mom taps him. He says, even when I heard the words forgery, trespassing, foul play, self-defense, and we were lucky to get away with probation.
Wow.
Kevin and Mom on the bus. Even when I finally got to see Jessica's face, and it's a picture of Jessica with her ashes. And it says Kim Ki-jong, who is Jessica, R.I.P. Mom is crying, and Kevin kind of smiles. And he's like, I just kept laughing. Still, when I went back and watched the news reports, and we see Mom cleaning like a room somewhere, and he's like, I didn't laugh. This sudden rampage in the backyard of an upper class home is now, this is a news reporter. And we pan over. It turns out Mom was like back in their house, like the basement house. And we see Kevin watching a news report on his phone, like in their little bathroom. And it says, since the homeless man who sparked the rampage died at the scene, police are struggling to establish a clear motive. Driver Kim and slain Mr. Park are said to have been on good terms. Police are now focused on finding Mr. Kim. And now it's like a news reporter like on the steps of like the Park's house.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mr. Kim disappeared into the alleys here. Police used CCTV of neighbors' houses to no avail, and there are no witnesses. Kim vanished into thin air.
Oh, God.
And back to the voiceover. Mom and I had no idea where Dad was. And cut to Kevin now like hanging restaurant signs on door handles.
Ugh.
But detectives wore themselves out tailing us. And it's like some guy behind him kind of trips and falls. And now it's like snowing in like a wooded kind of tree area. And he says, eventually the news went quiet and the trail stopped. And he's walking through the snow with a backpack. And he says, I started going up that mountain. And he pulls out binoculars. You get a great view of the house. And he starts looking inside the big windows of that house at the people inside. And he says, that day, despite the cold, I felt like staying longer. And it goes until nighttime. And then the light starts flashing in the house. In Morse code. Cut to Kevin on the subway, figuring out the fucking code.
Right.
And it says, son. And now we cut to the green underground bunker hallway. Perhaps you, if no one else, will be able to read this letter. And we see Dad at the desk in the bunker writing a letter. You were a Boy Scout, so I'm writing this just in case. Have your injuries healed? I'm sure your mom is plenty healthy. I'm doing fine down here, though thinking of Jessica makes me cry. And we see him looking at like the toilet and flushing it. And he says, even now what happened that day doesn't seem real. And we see kind of the sunshine grass and like a dog kind of chewing on the kebab in the side of fucking dead husband.
Oh, God.
And he says, it feels like a dream. And then we see Mr. Park falling over and Dad's hands like covered in blood. And he says, and yet it doesn't. That day as I went out the gate, I suddenly knew. And so we see him that day running out the side of the house down the steps. And it's like where everyone else runs. So they're like running ahead of him. And he says, I suddenly knew where I needed to go. He stops and he goes inside the garage. And then we see the camera outside the house with the cord that had been cut.
Oh, right.
So there was a camera directly on the house.
Yeah, and he knew that had been cut. Yeah.
And he sneaks up the steps in the house to the basement door, grabs the crank handle, and shuts the shelf door and just sits inside and cries.
Wow.
A house where such a grisly crime took place would surely not be easy to sell. And we see shots of like the empty dark house and Dad looking at magazine pictures of Mr. Park that had been hanging on the wall in the bunker from husband. And he's crying and just being like, I'm sorry, Mr. Park.
Ugh.
And he says, I struggled to hold out like that in an empty house. And he's just sitting eating canned tuna. Still, thanks to the house being empty, what was her name? The housekeeper? I was able to give her a proper send-off. And we see him carrying her body on his shoulders and digging a hole in the yard outside at night.
Jesus Christ.
He says, I hear treeside burials are trendy. So, hell, I did my best. But those real estate sharks sure are clever. They hoodwinked some people who just arrived in Korea and managed to sell the house with the parents working and kids at school. The family is usually out. And Dad is now like sneaking into the kitchen at night, but the goddamn housekeeper stays there 24 hours a day. So he opens the fridge and like grabs a little bit of food. He says, each time I go upstairs, I take my life in my hands.
Oh my God.
Turns out Germans eat more than just sausage and beer. What a relief. And now we see Dad just sitting in the bunker on the bed, just staring.
Oh God.
Passing the time down here, everything starts to go hazy. Today, at least I was able to write you a letter. And we see him Morse coding the letter with the light switch.
Yeah.
If I send out the letter this way every night, maybe someday you'll see it.
Oh my God.
So long. And then we see Kevin like running through the streets in the cold to their house. And he runs inside and starts writing his own letter. And he even like falls asleep with like the letter like next to him.
Oh.
And now his voiceover of his letter. Dad, today I made a plan. And we see him putting the stone in like a little like river creek area with other stones. A fundamental plan. I'm going to earn money. A lot of it. Cut to Kevin in a suit with some ladies outside the park house. University, a career, marriage, those are all fine. But first, I'll earn money. And the ladies are telling him it's very spacious inside. And it's like, it's very spacious inside. We don't just show it to anyone. And he says, when I have money, I'll buy that house. On the day we move in, Mom and I will be in the yard. And we see Kevin and Mom in the yard. And they're in like nice clothes. And like, you know how we talked about like,
yeah,
like
nice
they're
versus
in like upper, nice
upper
clothes.
class.
Yeah. And Mom's like taking a picture of the trees. And he says, because the sunshine is so nice there, all you'll need to do is walk up the stairs.
Fuck my life.
Now we see the kitchen with the basement door. It's empty. Nothing's like been moved in yet. And slowly, out of the darkness, Dad walks out. And he goes out to the yard. And this is all completely silent.
Oh my God.
And we just see him from like a distance. Like we're still almost in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he walks out to the yard. And Kevin walks to him. And they hug. And Mom walks toward them as we fade to black. Cut to view from their home out the window into the street, like basically the same view we started from with like the socks hanging, but it's snowy outside. And we like pan down and it's Kevin reading his letter saying, take care until then.
Oh,
so long.
Fuck me.
Fade to black. And then I cried a lot. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's really good.
I don't even know if that's like a horror movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I certainly feel horrified.
Exactly.
And so sad.
I know. I like cried a bunch and I was like, I don't even know exactly what I'm crying about.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, normally a movie will make me cry and I'm like, oh, I'm sad about this or I'm feeling this about this. And I was like, I can't describe what I'm feeling and exactly why.
Well, there's one of the things is there are zero bad guys.
It's just like tragic.
There's zero bad guys. Like literally there's everybody
it's just tragic.
Was just living
like
their life.
Yeah. Trying to do their best with what they have. Yeah.
Oh God.
So fucking good.
I need to blow some whiskey into my face.
Okay. I'm going to count your points while you blow some whiskey in your face.
Okay. Goodbye. Hey, Sammies. Can't get enough of us? God, you're so greedy.
Jeez.
Come join us over at our Patreon where we have tons more Kim and Kat for you.
Yeah, come get some bone con.
That's bonus content.
We've got t-shirts. We've got videos with research and fun shit.
What else we got?
We've got home games so you can play along. Exclusive poll voting things.
And we have exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else.
So join us and become an official Sammy at our website, www.kimandketstayalive.com. You can find Patreon and any of our links on social media at KKSAMpodcast, or just go straight to patreon.com. Search for us there. We'd love to have you.
Can't wait to see you, Sammys.
Goodbye. Bye. Okay.
How many points did I get?
Well,
Not that it matters.
Nothing. Well, out of your Dead or Alives, you got 4 out of 10.
Yeah, not great.
No,
I felt it.
that was your worst Dead or Alive that's ever happened, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, motherfucker.
No,
and this time I was like, woohoo!
Yeah, that was like a Kim score.
Yeah. True. And you actually got quite a Kim score, because then out of your questions, you got 11 out of 14.
Hey! It's because I really got their
You
con
got
art.
them, yeah.
I was like, I know how to do this.
And then, so for out of 24, you got 15 points.
All right. Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, even the fact that made me cry so much, and I watched it literally over 4 different sittings over 3 days.
Yeah.
Says
a lot.
a lot.
I mean, I saw
and was like stopping and starting and taking notes the whole time with translation.
Right.
So like,
it definitely was disjointed for you, and you still got the whole thing
was
from
like,
it. I saw a bunch of people that like clearly don't live in LA or like a big city, where they were like, where can I go see Parasite? I can't find it anywhere.
Oh yeah, people got to see it.
So it's definitely
good.
like people are. It definitely rings true that it's like killing of a sacred deer, in that a lot of the horror is like the horror of living.
Life. Yeah.
Which is horrific.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Fuck
So,
me.
That was Parasite.
Well, cool. I'm
Are you looking forward to watching it now?
I mean, nothing matters, so sure. I'm just gonna smoke some weed.
Look, 2020, it's big grandma energy.
Big
Let's bring it
grandma
back
energy.
to that big
BGE
grandma energy.
No, BGEs, they get it. They're like, hey, this is life. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, nothing matters. Let's fucking make it
Matter.
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's fucking be amazing rich people. Let's fucking all get rich, because if you're a good person and you get rich, you do good things with your money.
Oh my God. I can't wait to be good people with money.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's
it's already done.
So yeah, we are so fucking rich, and we're
Already
so
done.
good.
BGE.
Well, this has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week,
Stay alive.
goodbye.
Goodbye. We love you.
Almost got up without taking off my headphones, and I would have pulled everything out of everything.
And it wouldn't have been the first time.